everyone. Welcome to a stream. Hello. This is our Patron Q&A stream. It's been a while. We've been really busy, guys. Hello. How's it going?
You know how the Game Theory channel, they have a thing where like normal videos are, welcome to Game Theory, and then live podcasts. Oh my god, words are not with me today.
Ooh, we're doing great. We're coming in hot.
Live videos are is just a stream, a live stream.
Yeah.
Maybe we like call our streams like live cast.
Yeah, but it's not a podcast. It's not a podcast.
Yeah, but live shard. Live. Alivened.
Shard live.
Alivened. Ooh, yes. For those Alcatraz viewers. It's really the branding we want here.
Incredible.
Hello, welcome. I'm Eric with 17 Shard. We're doing a patron Q&A. There will be Lost Metal spoilers here. There will not be Secret Project spoilers. And because the patrons voted that we do a patron Q&A after Lost Metal, so I can only assume that they wanted Lost Metal spoilers because otherwise we would have done it before. And
I do not remember this poll, but okay.
Don't worry, I got it under control. Some things I don't have under control, like not putting the heralds on the about page on the site. So I did that now. Sorry, Crocs. I know you did mention this, and then I forgot again. So that's not good. But it's fixed now. We're all good. Everything's good. We've put out a lot of content since Lost Metal, guys. It's a lot, and we just put out our longest Shardcast ever. Nice.
It was so fun. I am so pleased with how that episode came out.
It really did turn out really well.
It was just it was a joy to record.
Yeah,
like
yeah. It was good.
I look forward to listening to it.
Yeah, it was good.
In case
sometimes
go ahead.
Sometimes you sit down and you record an episode, and it just doesn't flow right. You've got your outline and you're talking about things and like
doesn't connect at all, and just like
you have to make weird segues and you have to backtrack. This one was none of those things. It was just
so easy.
Butter. Like we were all buttered up.
If we didn't like just be super tired, yeah. So yeah,
I mean, if anybody hasn't noticed that I've been like incredibly active in the Shardcast channel and in our YouTube comments, I'm having a blast talking with everybody.
Yeah, it's a good time. So someone asked in chat, "How are you guys?" And my answer is, I'm tired. My semester's over though.
Yay!
So that's good.
I'm doing great because like the only thing I've had to do since Lost Metal is the Diceborn stream last week.
Be nice. We got to get you to edit things, Ian. Then we'll.
Should the rest of us introduce ourselves? Eric introduced himself.
Yeah, we should introduce ourselves. Hey, Evgeny, what's up? Welcome to the thing.
Hi, my name is Dominic Tyler.
What?
I don't think that is correct, actually.
No, there's no overlap.
My name is Lefty Teft.
Nope, it's not that either.
Stop stealing the identities of our chatters.
Yeah, great.
But that's how you get their metal minds.
Okay, all right. True. Oh,
Hi, I am Argent.
Welcome. By the way, let me know if the audio's weird, because we've actually been doing totally different audio stuff for the videos. And I'm usually softer, so I bumped myself up for the stream, so hopefully it's fine, but I'm probably too quiet, honestly. But the thing is I can also be really loud, so that's the problem. Also joining us is Alex. What's up? Welcome.
Hi, I'm Alex. If like my Discord name pops up on screen, it will say Ookla the Feathered because is today like the last full day of Ookla season? It ends tomorrow, right?
It
Yes!
should end tomorrow.
It does.
Yes.
Wow.
Oh, yes.
It
Good.
does.
Good.
Soon
'Cause
Ookla
it
season will be
ends
over.
on Koloth's Head Munching
For,
Day.
for
Yeah.
those of you on YouTube who do not go on Discord or forums, between like Thanksgiving and State of Sanderson, people have just changed their names to be Ookla the something, and it's
It's a beloved holiday
it's
tradition.
such a
On the
bizarre fandom
17th
thing that happened. It is so weird.
But
I-
normally I am just Feather. So.
Yes. It's so weird.
I think it's fun that we have. Like, I personally don't like the Ookla tradition, but I think it's good and it's fun for like a weird tradition like that to exist.
It definitely is fun. It's hard to figure out who's who, though. This is all I'm
Thankfully,
saying.
on Discord, you still have the discriminators.
Except when
so you can,
people
like,
change
nick someone's name.
those.
Yeah, if you don't change your discriminator, because like
Yeah.
it's really not helpful. We're trying to figure out who you actually are.
And there are some people that do a very good job of making it obvious who they are, such as Ookla the Feathered or Ookla the Pony Swarm.
Yeah. It's just when you have
Make it
10,000
easy on other
people
people.
on there, which is crazy.
Yeah.
Lastly, we got Ian. What's up? Hey.
Hello, I am also known as Weary Writer.
Hello.
And you called me out for not editing, but
Yeah.
I did post a question for you that you never answered in one of our
Oh
channels
no, you're right. You're right.
about equipment.
You guys don't really understand. There are two levels of Eric priority. There's I need to do this immediately, and who knows when it will happen.
If I remember this much later.
There are two things. It's like, and usually it's like, all right, I have to edit the next Shardcast, and then I can just breathe for a few days until I'm stressed for the next thing. You know, that's me usually. You are right. I actually did remember that, but I didn't respond. Anywho, this is a patron Q&A, and so every once in a while, we do these where our $5 scholars and $10 heralds can post their questions on Patreon, and we will answer them. We will. Oh, full Cosmere spoilers. Like, we're gonna talk about Cosmere stuff, right? So, you know, up through Lost Metal, but again, no secret projects. So, this is actually a good question before we get to the patron questions. I showed up late to the live Shardcast episode at the con. Is that going to be uploaded anywhere? It will eventually be on our YouTube channel when we have a slot for it, which could be soon, but there's kind of a lot going on, and Secret Project 1's coming out in January, but we do intend to post it on our YouTube channel.
Yeah, and that was discussing the spoiler Q&A WOBs at Dragonsteel.
Yeah, and we have to figure out fitting in a December spoiler stream WOB thing in the schedule. So it's no, this is good. No, YouTube, it's not a good time to insert ads. I'm not gonna do that. No, bad YouTube. No,
So
Everyone.
many things to do.
No.
Skillshare.
Look, I'm not gonna run
Manscaped.
ads, but Copper Cloud VPN. That was good. That was a good one. If you do want to give us money, you can support our Patreon for as little as $1, and for $5 or more, you can post questions, and we have patron chats also sometimes. We've been busy. Maybe we'll do one next week for the patrons.
Our patron channel is often full of cat pictures,
true.
and also
That's
you
true.
get Shardcast outtakes. Sometimes we say funny things.
The
that have
Lost
to get
Metal
cut.
outtakes are actually really funny. So if you, they're patron exclusive. I highly recommend you do that. But also, if you also want to give us money, you can give a super chat, I think, and give us money that way. And I know I'm really selling this, but like, if you want, you can.
We do need to do another after hours stream for the patrons at some point, because those were very fun.
They are very fun. It's just
we just don't have time. We're so busy.
Look, I wanted to say I think I'll actually do a video right at the end of the year, but we've done over 130 hours of content this year, and that doesn't include the streams. In fact, that doesn't include the last two Shardcasts. I didn't update it. It was like
That
through
is
the
many
hard
hours.
releases. Yeah, so like that's a lot. So I'm sorry, but hopefully you've enjoyed the content. There's plenty to watch.
Yeah, and it's like we've really broadened the content we're making
Yeah,
this
we
year
have.
in a fun way.
We
Not
have.
just Swordcast anymore.
But we might want to do a little less next year, but we'll see. We'll see. I'm
We'll see. We can
I'm
keep up
okay.
with it.
I'm doing great.
Surely, with multiple Cosmere novels coming out, we will have time to have a break.
Yeah, it's not like there's 4 novels coming out next year. or
look.
anything.
4, you mean
Oh.
5?
Oh God.
You know, look,
Brandon, please.
here's the thing. I'm probably gonna enforce that we need to do every other week Shardcast, like almost all the time. But we're
We
gonna
just
do our
need
best.
to like take the stress off of you.
Yeah.
That's the
well,
priority.
see, that's yeah. Yeah, that's true. But there's still like a lot of stuff to do, regardless, for like things. But yeah. So
we've been expanding
probably
our
do that.
editor bench
Hmm?
lately. Our question in the chat about how bottlenecked are you on editors? We have more editors.
We have more
these days.
editors, but
Yes.
that's like there's. It's not as less stressful as I would have anticipated. How about that? You know, how about that?
There's some onboarding.
But you know, I was gonna say something like, oh, this is what I was gonna say. There are still some Rhythm of War topics we need to do, and there are still Lost Metal topics. I don't know how many of you you're gonna get to them this year. We'll find out. But we got through our core 4 Lost Metal topics that I wanted to get out before the end of the year, so we got those. Yes. Thank you, Kyle Martin. Yes, 130 hours of content. The Coppermind Discord. Yes. Yeah, there's also infinite amount of Coppermind work that any of us could do as
true,
well,
yeah.
and it's like, oh,
Yeah.
I also want to write a book eventually and be an author, so it's like that's really the thing. But yeah. Anyway,
I will say while we're shilling the Patreon real quick.
Yeah.
If you guys do want to game the system, you can sign up for $1 and watch like all of the patron
It's true. You
content
can
that
do
we've
that.
done in the past.
you can do that.
There you get the whole backlog. Just
You can do that.
when you sign up, so.
Span Reads will be back next year
Enjoy.
in some form. I need to redo that schedule though, because
Yeah, I need to know when I need to record.
yeah, I know.
when
Yeah.
need to read
No, that's
things.
been on my mind. See, my semester ended Friday, and so now it's like, okay, now I can do things. Wow, nice, fun.
I'm trying to remember what's actually been recorded for Span Reads. Where are we?
Yeah. Well, yeah. Yes, the ordering of the patrons on the end screen is very weird. Yes, that is true, Mark Browning. I'm probably not going to randomize it. So someone's got to be at the bottom. And right now, look, it's either alphabetical or whatever weird crap I'm doing right now. So I don't know. But I will probably need to eventually get like a thing that scrolls because there's a lot of you guys, which is fantastic.
Thank you guys.
Cool.
Here, I'll do the K-pop parts. There you go.
Yeah. Okay, so let's get to questions. We've done enough scheduled nonsense. To be fair, it's been a really long time since we've done a chatting stream, so it's like, oh wow, chatting.
As far as like a Shardcast recording goes, 16 minutes of scheduled nonsense is incredibly
Oh, yeah.
efficient.
That's true.
actually.
You all don't realize, but we have a joke that there's an hour of scheduled nonsense before we start recording, and like if we get like to 45 minutes of scheduled nonsense, it's like, wow, we're ahead of schedule. We're doing great.
Pretty much.
Usually that's like me dealing with tech issues that can be a while, and like things like that. And like, what are we doing with this outline? Because sometimes we have very spare outlines, courtesy of yours truly, usually. Where it's like, I put 5 bullet points, we're good, right? For a 2 hours episode. So
I mean, sometimes yes.
for
Sometimes
usually
that's what you
Lost
need.
Metal stuff, for like things we're excited about, like we need the bullet points and certain quotes, and then we're good. Right? Like the Kelsier episode, we didn't need much, you know. Cool. Just a note for viewers. I'll be focusing on the patron questions, so we might not get to you in chat, but yeah, maybe we will. There's not that many questions, so we might have some time to blab about some other questions too, but we'll see. So, first, this one by Luca Marie Kortiluski. Sorry, Luca.
Who is in chat?
Who's in chat?
They
Yes,
just
I did
posted.
notice. Yes.
Hello, welcome.
They ask, hi, I wanted to ask if you plan another collaboration with Daniel Green in the near future. I loved your episode with him, and I would love to see another one. I also really enjoyed that episode. I did not get to go to the con this year. Daniel was there, but I have chatted with Daniel. Daniel is very busy. He's like being an author and stuff, but I would love to have him if he had time. How about that?
Yeah.
So
yeah, he's a very cool person.
He's super cool.
It's like my one disappointment from Dragonsteel is that I didn't get to meet him. I saw him for like 5 seconds, but like I was on my way to something else. I'm like, that other thing was a much higher priority for me.
Yeah. Cool. Stained Class asks, what is your favorite Cosmere scene thus far? Or one of them. And then they talk about how great Kaladin's third ideal is at the end of Words of Radiance and Stretch Forth Thy Hand. They also have a question about Leatherbounds, but we'll do the Cosmere scene first.
Favorite scene, or one of our favorite scenes.
Third ideal with Kaladin is really high up there. I remember
It's really good.
like it being 1 a.m. and me screaming in my apartment, F yeah, but you know, not censored. And like pretty loud. Like it was really awesome. I think also Dalinar, I'm Unity, and like you cannot have my pain. That's really high up there.
I actually just reread the climax of Rhythm of War the other night because the climax. I mean, I read the climax of Rhythm of War, but just the non-Dalinar parts. Kaladin and Navani.
The Ishar stuff is kind of just
those were the
else.
parts I was interested in rereading.
Yeah.
And it's like I love the
Rhythm of War so good.
The sibling going like,
good.
"You're not worthy," and Navani going, "The hell I'm not," basically. But also, so it's like, then Kaladin's whole thing is just so emotional. But I do really like Wax's conversation with Harmony at the end of Bands of Mourning.
That's pretty good.
It's so
pretty
good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I will give you 3 quick ones. Take your pick. The end, like the very end of Words of Radiance when Zeth gets Nightblood is always going to be an extremely memorable scene in my head. Like, because I remember like where I was when I was reading that, and like what I was doing, and like how I was getting more and more engrossed into the book as it was ending, and then reading that and just like having to put the book down and go, okay, let's process, right?
Yeah.
So that's one. Along very similar veins, the epilogue of Bands of Mourning. Like reading that Coppermind memory and then getting to the end and ending the book with survive.
Clearly
top one for Alex.
I would
Chills.
say top one, but it might top a different list.
And along similar or along different lines, I will give you a Lost Metal piece, which I did not expect to like as much as I did. Like I thought I'd like that, but the more I think about it, the more I like it. And that was Wax's climb in the Shaw in Independence Tower. And that includes both like the fight sequence of him being Harmony's sword, and it especially includes the very end when he goes, look, I did what I had to. Don't ask me to do this again. You don't know what this feels like. And
Yeah.
Harmony just sends him a vision of
Yeah.
the Battle of Luthadel.
It's
Mhm.
it is so good.
It's such a
It's very good.
and also then Wayne going, showing up and like, wow, mate. Because it's just 50
Yeah.
floors or 60 floors or whatever of just like bodies and carnage.
Yep. Alex, what about you? Favorite
I
scene?
think I'm going to go into Oathbringer, actually.
Okay.
And I'll give an honorable mention, actually, to the Fall of Kholinar. Just because I think it's one of the most, like, devastating and brutal plot developments that Brandon has ever written. Like, you get to the end of part 3 of Oathbringer, and you're like, everything is, like, the worst that it could possibly be right now. Oh my goodness.
Don't worry, there's still Stormlight
Um,
5 to top that. Probably.
True. I think Stormlight 5 is going to be
Probably will.
But my, like, actual, I think, like, favorite scene, like, the one that really hit me the hardest, and this shouldn't surprise people who know me, is the first Renarin POV that we ever get. And part of that is because it was both, like, the first time we get to, like, get inside my favorite character in anything, like, not just favorite Cosmere character. Renarin is my favorite character in anything ever. Like, the first time getting into his head was, like, amazing, but it was also that I had been, like, hitting the theory train hard that Renarin was not a normal Surge Binder and that there was something up with him ever since the end of Words of Radiance. And, like, the whole time that I was reading Oathbringer, getting up to that point, because it's in part 5, or at least the end of part 4. I think it's in part 5, actually.
Mhm.
I was like, the reason we're not seeing any POVs from Renarin is because he's got this secret and Brandon isn't willing to put him on screen yet. And lo and behold, like, the very first POV we get from him is revealing that secret. And I was like, yes,
You were so
it's
vindicated.
everything I'd ever wanted. So,
Yeah.
okay, the introduction of Mraze is also pretty high on my
He-
list.
yeah.
I was delighted about that scene.
You'll see something in a second that might be Mray's relevant, Alex.
Oh goodness.
I'm
Okay.
I'm
All
trying to
right.
think-
I'm bracing myself.
I'm trying to think because, like, really, Words of Radiance and Oathbringer are, like, still, like, probably my 2 top Cosmere books. Like, I just love those so much, and those oath swearings there are so good. And I'm trying to be like, oh man, like, Era 1's really good. Like, Ruined, like, I'm free. There's a lot of good ones, but I guess we'll just leave it there. There's a lot of good ones. Brandon has some pretty killer endings. It's like, so you can usually put those all on a list and choose and throw darts at it, and it's like, yeah, it's one of those probably.
Yeah.
Um,
I don't think there is like the ending of a Brandon book that or at least a Cosmere book that I'm like, meh. That was kind of just okay.
True.
Yeah.
A Cosmere book, I agree.
Other Brandon books, maybe
Yeah.
not.
The addendum was important.
Yes.
Yes.
Stained Class also asked if any of us snagged signed numbered Sanderson leatherbounds. Alley of Law and Shadows was his first.
I
don't think any of my leatherbounds are numbered.
None of mine are, because I made a conscious decision never to go for the numbered leatherbounds, because I wouldn't be able to get matching numbers, and that would bother me.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay, sure. That's fair.
I could have, like, I was there early enough to snatch a copy. I did not realize there were different options.
So you just grabbed the default?
I just grabbed the default, which was unsigned, unnumbered.
Oh, okay.
And then people were like, talking about how they had a hard time securing a number and things like that. And I'm like, wait, there were numbered?
Not anymore.
And I went back, and the numbered ones were gone, but I was able to get a signed one and then refund my normal one.
That's good.
Mhm.
That's good.
I have, I believe, signed and numbered first editions, but not leatherbounds. And then I believe my ferrochemical metals poster back there is signed and numbered as well.
Yeah, it's one of the first 300 because we both have
Mhm.
those, right, Alex?
Yes.
I know that. I have all the leather bounds. I think they're all signed. I don't know if they're all numbered. I think they're all numbered.
I just picked up Elantris because that's the one that I hadn't. Because that one came out before I was gainfully employed, I believe.
Oh,
and
right,
I'm like,
because it's 2015. Yeah.
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 Yeah, I still need Hero of Ages. You can see my two Mistborn ones right there, and
Yeah.
Hero of Ages is
They're
missing.
nice.
Hopefully
The
I'll get-
leather bounds are very, very, very pretty.
They are.
So I'm excited to
Mhm.
see the Alloy in Shadows one.
Mhm.
We kind of talk on an episode of how Brandon's delaying the Words of Radiance one, because Words of Radiance one's being the Kickstarter's not
Oh,
in
yeah.
March anymore, but
Hmm.
that's
Mhm.
fine with me. We got plenty of stuff to talk about, and so does Dragonsteel. They got plenty of stuff to do. They're
Mhm.
doing fine.
I also wouldn't mind, going longer than like 3 months without having to dump $1,000 on Dragonsteel.
Yeah. Can I tell a story of a thing with like the Stormlight minis? Because
Mhm.
Jess and I are having our wedding in March, and we joked that the Kaladin Zeth one be like a cake topper, just like the giant buckets.
That I would
That's
not
funny.
put on top of it.
No. You put it on a platform, right? Obviously, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, but it's like that does seem like too much for a joke, but I do kind of want those bookends, but I don't want to spend $300 for the privilege of them.
Yeah,
Consider hiring someone to like bake you a cake topper that is in a similar shape, but it's you and Jess.
There you go. That's what you
Fighting
need.
in the sky at the ends of Words of Radiance.
Which
Okay.
one is? Which is Eric? Which is Jesse? Like,
I mean, I guess purely based off height, I'm Kaladin and Jess is Seth.
I was going to say, if you're like the Lord Ruler, then that would make more sense for you to be like Zeth. And he doesn't have Nightblood yet. Never mind.
No.
And no,
No,
it's
you
it,
can
it
Kaladin,
doesn't
I guess.
it doesn't matter. It's just like you're not just plopping your heads in like instead of theirs, like you're doing your own. Maybe that's too much.
That sounds expensive.
probably.
That sounds expensive. I don't care about the cake that much. Anyway, if I'm not spending $300 on the bookend, am I really gonna spend $300 on something else?
Yeah, you're right.
On hair, Eric is Zeth. True. Yeah, I'm balding. I'm dying. I'm dead. All right, next question. Psycho asks, who is your favorite Cosmere villain, and what funny nickname would you give them? And I think I'll just give it to Alex to start. I don't know why, though.
I have to come up with a funny nickname. I
Yeah,
don't feel
from
like
Raze.
that's the sort of relationship that I have with Cosmere villains. Okay. So I'm gonna do like Ray's probably the top. Nail close second. Zeth is like sort of not an antagonist anymore, but he's also very high in my heart. And then I have a soft spot for Dent as well.
You gotta give one a funny
'cause
nickname. And I need to probably think of something for me, though. I don't know what I'm gonna do.
I will think about how to be funny about Maurice as somebody else goes.
Some of these Patron questions are actually like, I don't know how to answer this. So it's like, you're
the
putting us
other
on our
Lord of
feet.
Scars.
Yeah,
There you go. That can be his nickname.
nice.
The better Lord of Scars.
Cool. Oh, baby.
I have an answer to this
Okay.
because it's Raboniel, obviously.
Oh, yeah, makes sense.
She's the
Yeah.
best.
That's good.
And it's like cute nickname like Bonnie. I don't know Raboniel. Like I don't know.
Bonnie
That's
laugh.
pretty good.
It's what popped in my head.
That's pretty
As
good.
soon as you asked that question, I'm like,
It's pretty good.
Okay.
Let's.
Oh, shout out to my girl Palm too. Sorry, I can't leave Palm off the list. I adore Palm.
Oh, Alex, no, Palm is my favorite Cosmere
Good.
antagonist.
Okay,
yes.
we can't. I was like, we can't leave her out.
No,
She's
no.
so good.
I really like Palm. Someday I will write Palm's Coppermine article. I'll reread Shadows for the 3rd time just to do that.
Well,
I've read
fortunately,
it more than that, but
she's not getting much more content, so
look,
You're-
until we learn what Lutha
Wow.
is, you never know. What's Lutha? When are we gonna
maybe
learn?
she was Lutha, right?
Yeah, she was Lutha.
Maybe like if we ever get the story of
Mhm.
Mistborn Birthright, maybe she
Oh,
shows
yeah,
up there.
yeah.
Never
Don't
getting
talk
that.
about Mistborn Birthright.
never getting that.
My heart is not recovered from
Put
the
in
loss.
chat if you even know what Mistborn Birthright
know
is.
Mistborn
Like this is like if like
Oh.
10 years ago at this stage. The game was supposed to come out in
That old?
2013.
Oh man.
I mean, I feel like a lot of people know about Birthright because we keep talking about Birthright.
Yeah.
We do have
Okay,
some people in
okay.
chat who have not heard of it.
Okay, cool. That's a Fire
Yeah.
Emblem game, true. True. Nice. Still, my favorite Mistborn Birthright thing is when the domain lapsed and then it changed to porn, and then the Coppermine link went to that. That was pretty funny.
Fun. That was fun. Good times.
It was
Yeah.
meant to be a Mistborn video game. It was going
Yeah.
to have a totally original story written by Brandon
In early Final Empire.
in
Yeah.
the early Final Empire.
Like 2nd
And
century or something like that.
Yeah.
the thing that like completely kills me is they talked about the Dishonored games as like an inspiration for the gameplay. And I've always said that Dishonored would be like such
Yeah,
a good Mistborn
yeah,
setting. And I'm like,
yeah.
oh, we could have had it all.
I
It's
ran
dead now.
into someone on Tumblr a month ago or so, Alex, and they were also saying that Dishonored would be like great Mistborn vibes.
So
Mhm.
much so. I mean, Kelsier and oh god, Delilah Copperspoon are basically the same character. No, they're not. But listen, I'm right about this.
My favorite villain
yes.
is the Lord Ruler.
Ooh. Oh yeah, he's pretty
interesting.
high on my list too. Yeah.
Can't
Obviously.
imagine why, Eric.
He's pretty good. I don't know what
Uh.
silly nicknames to do for Palm or the Lord Ruler, you know?
Yeah, I Lord McLordson.
I always liked the joke of Lord Ruler and Lady Protractor go to a ball. It's good. It's quality. It's a good joke.
Oh man.
What do you do for Palm? I don't know. I can't do silly nicknames. This is like asking me to like name a pet and a pet name
Yeah.
off the top of my head. Like I cannot do that.
Yeah.
I'll need a month.
Yeah,
My,
just go
my
with
only
like
thoughts are
Palmy.
After Dark level, so I'm just not gonna go there on this screen.
Yeah, that's probably good. Okay. Next one by Lyriel. What are any notable Cosmere plot holes? I haven't noticed any myself, but I know I have been blind to those with more obviously plot-holy series before. I'd like to think there are no plot holes in Cosmere thus far, but...
I feel like the ATM sinkhole has been a rapidly widening one.
Well,
over
like-
Yeah, but that got retconned, so it's okay.
Yeah.
Here's the problem. If there's a thing that's like maybe kind of inconsistent, you just ask Brandon and then he just like tells you.
Yeah.
Like
Mhm.
usually, you know? So it's like with Wobbs, it's kind of weird because in the fandom, usually we just know the answer. Or like there's something
Yeah.
like, I want you to notice this thing. So
We also notice things during beta reads, and so a lot of those get fixed.
yep.
Yeah, like anything
That is part of the beta. Yep.
major gets caught.
You know what's a
Hopefully.
plot hole?
What
Did
is
our
a
jobs
plot
right.
hole?
Hopefully.
Or no, I guess that's not a plot hole. I was gonna say there's one time in the Lost Meadow where the Ghostbloods logo is described incorrectly, but
Like, what is a plot hole? Yeah, I don't know. Like I think with Wobbs, it's hard to think of things, really.
And it's like plot holes are tricky when like content is still being produced
Mm.
because it might like it could just be an intentional thing that, like, yes, this will get explained later. But are things plot holes if they're just things that have not been explained yet?
Yeah.
In my opinion, no.
There are definitely like dangling plot threads
Yeah.
that maybe, but like even if they never get it resolved, that doesn't mean that they ever become holes, right? I think for a hey Google,
Did you Google plot hole? Same as me.
yeah, any good?
No, it's totally useless. It was exactly what I thought.
Okay. Does it? No, not phone. I was joking about the Hey Google thing.
Ooh, what if we just go to TV tropes and look for examples?
So I think an important component of plot holery
Okay.
is the inconsistency or the contradiction.
Yeah.
And so by definition, unresolved plot threads are not necessarily holes. Like you need something that contradicts itself. And like by that definition, I wouldn't even count the ATM thing in there.
Yeah, right, exactly.
I feel like the ATM thing is an attempt by Brandon to sort of fill in what he now considers a plot hole.
Is it though?
And I think by doing so, it has maybe opened some smaller holes because you can tell that like the original canon was not written with this in mind. Like people are talking about like Yeoman and Electrum and things like that. And I think like that is sort of just a consequence of what happens when you have to retcon, and clearly Brandon was bothered enough by like the god metal status of ATM to want to change that. So
yeah,
this is a trade of like the original ATM hole in Brandon's mind was larger than the smaller ATM holes that have popped up as a result of filling the big one.
disagree.
So, and part of that is when you're writing in the same continuity for decades, no matter how much planning you did at the beginning, you're gonna reach a point where it's like, oh, I really wish that thing was different because of this thing decades down the road. And it's like, I think the way Brandon is handling this retcon isn't terrible. Like,
agreed. I think he's doing his best to make it not break things, but I think it was always going to break some things.
Yes, but I think another important factor of a plot hole is that it causing issues in the enjoyment of a thing. Because like you get hung up on the inconsistency.
True,
and it's like it hampers, which like I don't think there is anything like that.
Yeah. Can you think, chat? Can you think of anything? Because it's really hard to think of something that qualifies for that. That's like an inconsistency. I know some people had had issues with like certain ways like that, like Moonlight is characterized in Lost Metal, right? Which like it's always fine to read it that way. That's like this doesn't feel consistent for that character, but that's not exactly like a plot hole, right? It's a characterization thing. It's not plot.
Yeah, I think the jury is still going to be out on Kelsier Medallion stuff. We're going to have to see what Era 3 brings.
Yeah.
Oh, someone's asking what the ATM retcon is.
Oh,
do you want to quickly explain what that is?
Go to our ATM episode. That I don't know if we can simplify.
I mean, like we can like it's basically ATM as shown in the Final Empire is not pure Ruins god metal. It's an alloy of that plus Electrum.
Sure. Yeah.
Presumably a naturally occurring one from that's kind of what I'm getting is like the Pits of Hafton created an alloy
naturally probably alloy? Preservation encouraged, right?
Yeah.
Go to the podcast. We talk all about it. It's a very long podcast.
Yeah.
Oh, actually, Beta Del. I like this. Okay, I'm okay with Vin beating the Lord Ruler, but knowing what we now know about compounding and stuff, he probably should have been more prepared. And honestly, That is actually, I do think that is an issue, and I think it's only explained by his complete hubris. Like, that's the only thing that makes sense. He could, I still think he could even control the Inquisitors there. There's no reason why he couldn't. Why not?
Yeah, it's got to be hubris, which is not unbelievable. Right?
No, it is believable, but it's irritating.
It's just not as satisfying as
The Lord Ruler should have killed Finn. You heard it here.
What a Lord Rulery thing for you to say,
I
Chaos.
don't know what you're talking about.
Very short trilogy.
Yes, we're done.
Roll
They
credits.
all lost. The Lord Ruler came out and just murdered all the Ska rebelling. We win. Hey. All right. Greyhive asks, in the acknowledgements in the Lost Metal, Brandon thinks a group he calls the Arcanists, which has some familiar names. Can you talk about that experience and how it compared to being beta readers? Yes, you.
No,
indeed-
next question.
you, yes, there is a group called the Arcanists. You can read all about them. Yeah. I don't know if
Did
we
you just
can
say you
what-
can read all about them?
You can read that. Okay, you can read
who they
that
are.
their existence in the Lost Metal acknowledgements. How about that?
Yes.
Clearly not all about them. Yes, but that
I am not one of them.
No, you're not. There's a lot of NDAs, so I don't think we can talk a lot about things, but I will just say Lost Metal is a much better book because of this. Maybe not much better, but it's definitely better, and I am so pleased with how the team worked on things. And so, yeah. It worked out so well, I think. Yes.
I wanna make a snarky comment, but I shouldn't.
Yeah.
To give you, so this question has come up a few times ever since the Lost Metal came out, and ever since Peter talked about us on random. Jesse.
Hello, everybody. I'm just gate crashing to say hi.
Hi.
Have
Hi.
fun.
Okay. We are and will. Yeah, I think we all hope for Silverlight cameos, but who
you
knows?
know.
To give you an idea of what we do. First of all, we get buried under NDAs.
True.
And so, like, we absolutely cannot ever talk about like old versions of the book or like what changes we asked for, or like we don't make changes,
Don't make
right?
changes.
Any more that you know how Brandon talks about how for Skyward he had a beta reader who was a fighter pilot, jet pilot, and like that person offered advice and guidance on like G-forces and flying and things like that. That is kind of what we do, except when it comes to like continuity things and magic things.
Magic continuity. Not continuity in general. Generally.
Yeah.
We are paid we are paid contractors. So
That's
we
true.
are paid.
And so to
This
give
is
you
an actual thing.
to give you what I think is going to be a safe example of how we've been involved in this, I'm going to talk about Rhythm of War.
I don't know if we can talk about this, Kenny.
Okay, then I will not talk about
I don't
this.
think we can do this. I
Yeah.
think we got to clear every example through Peter. So I don't think we can do anything. Sorry.
We're allowed to talk about beta things if Brandon has already talked
Yes,
about them
that's
first.
right. That's
and
right.
not until then. And we
That's
do
right.
not want to break that
I-
trust.
I think it would have been okay, but it's fine.
Yeah.
That's okay.
Not on a stream where I can't edit it out if we decide that it's not good, okay?
A
But,
thing that might have
yeah.
slipped into Shardcast, but
Yeah,
maybe
no,
not
we can
left.
edit it out. Yeah, easy. Yeah, no, so it's... I would say the core difference is like there's more direct advice, whereas betas is like I have an issue with a thing, and it's not like you are not supposed to prescribe advice, right? Whereas this is like, here is an issue, here is suggestions of possible things to fix this that like might work well. And Brandon pick something like that if he thinks that it is an issue, something like
Yep.
that. So it's more prescriptive in that sense, which is very weird. It's very weird.
And sometimes he goes, I am not going to take these suggestions,
Yeah.
but it's useful for me to know
Mhm.
the kinds of questions people will be asking.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So that's a thing. Lost Metal is better, and I'm glad you guys can see the Arcanist list. For a while, I was like, this should be secret for a while, but it's like, okay, it's Lost Metal. We should
Mhm.
probably be out there. So
And I will say, like, beta reads have always included, like, as Argent was saying, subject matter experts on
Yeah.
certain things. I just think we've seen in some of the acknowledgments, like, people being specifically thanked for their subject matter expertise in this way is new, but this idea that this is like part of the beta process is not a new thing. So
I wouldn't even say it's necessarily specifically part of the beta process, but it's part of the editorial process. How about
Yeah.
that?
Yeah.
yeah. The beta is
Ah,
a small part of what happens behind the scenes
Yeah.
to get the book to being ready.
maybe someday we'll chat with Peter, and if there are some specific examples to clear, because I do think like it would be fine, but we just need to be very, very above water, so anyway, yeah, I think
Hi,
that's it.
Matt.
Hi, Matt.
Matt's in the chat.
Hello.
Hi, Matt.
All right, this one is from Mark Browning, who was also in the chat, at least earlier. How are you dealing with the parasocial relationships as the Shardcast has gotten popular? Do you still feel like mega fans, or is it more like mini celebs?
I deal with it very well.
I don't know if celebrities mini
Wow.
celeb is the right word.
I
mean, I guess you went to the con. I didn't go to the con.
going to the con, it was a mildly surreal experience to
Okay,
have
fair enough.
many people come up and say, like, hey, I recognized your voice from around the corner. I really enjoyed the podcast.
Okay, yeah.
It was amazing. Like, there were like many people came up and like said nice things about the podcast, and like, oh, like it invited us to like to lunch and stuff. I'm like, if I had ever any point ever said like no to like chatting with people, it's because I was very overwhelmed with like the amount of people that were around. I'm like, I need alone time.
Look, I gotta be honest. You all sounded super busy, like really, really busy. Like I remember Travis in Patron Lounge is like, is David around? And David's like, I'm doing this other thing, and then this other thing, and this other thing. It's like, oh geez. Like I was stressed hearing about it.
It was a lot. It was a lot of fun. Like, definitely worth going, in my opinion. I'm looking forward to going again, but exhausting.
Yeah.
I will say, so I haven't been to an in-person event since the Oathbringer release, which oh my goodness was 2017. The passage of time is so fake.
Yeah.
And I will admit, like, there were definitely some people who recognized me there, and that was kind of an interesting experience, but I'm wondering how different it would be now, because I do feel like 17th Shard has become like much bigger, especially like with as much content as we're putting out. That said, I hope there's not like too much of a like parasocial sort of thing. Like, I really enjoy that we still get to sort of like hang out in our Discord space, and like people will see me just hanging out in VCs with users, talking about games and talking about, whatever. I don't feel like we're necessarily like, we're the content creators of this space and everyone else is our fans. Like, I do feel like there's still more of like, we're all mutually fans of Brandon.
Yeah.
It's just that some of us also put videos out.
Some of us have cameras.
Some of us have cameras.
More of you will have cameras eventually, but
Yeah.
we have been spending a lot of money on editing, and at the end of the year I need to tally how much we actually spent, because we put out a lot of stuff. And also with Oathbringer, like, we started like the main Shardcasts that have been going on for 201 episodes now, starting with Oathbringer. So like probably for Stormlight 5, yeah, there's probably gonna be a lot of people who like, hey, how's it going? Oh, hi. But I remember even at like the Words of Radiance release, Alex, when I first met you, they were like, "Oh my god, you're chaos." I was like, "It is a weird
It's weird.
experience.
It's a little weird.
It is weird for sure."
I enjoy being genuinely friends with many of
Yeah.
our users and just hanging out. So I
Yeah.
hope there's not like too much of a parasocial barrier.
Yeah.
We're fun.
and
You can
I
get
think-
to know us like for real if you want. Just come hang.
I think what makes the Discord perhaps weirder than the content creation aspect is that we're mods. Like, I think that actually leads to issues when it's like, you're breaking the rules and we have to do a thing, and that can lead to more friction. Like, I don't think the parasocial relationship is as much a friction point personally. But yeah, it's not too bad, and we make clear with Patreon that it's like, look, if you want to support us, you can. Please take care of yourself. You know, like we're not like, we need donations. Let's do a Twitch stream for donations and things like that. Whereas I think that can really get into the parasocial relationship aspect. You know,
This isn't anyone's job or livelihood.
No. Speaking of which, you could put a super chat in the chat.
Okay, all right, okay.
You okay, Evgeny? What?
I'm reading a comment that says Evgeny beard water.
I'm assuming it's water that's been soaked in your beard that you sell for money.
Oh, it's like bath water, but
Yeah.
Like
I
gamer
just-
girl
Just like,
and I was like, are you
Oh,
asking me
no.
to hydrate? Are you saying I have water in my beard?
do I need to wash my beard now?
Oh no.
Travis Gafford
Hi,
in
Travis.
the chat.
It was very nice
Ooh.
meeting you.
Look at Travis with the check mark. Look how fancy you are.
Fancy.
Wait,
He just sold his bed to pay next month Patreon sub.
were you sleeping in a $10 bed? That's concerning.
It is concerning. Oh my god.
Oh,
Worder
we
is
just gotta see
supporting us for $17. Thank you, Worder.
Yeah.
You really didn't have to do that.
You
but
you have been very interested in 17 Shard Among Us, haven't you?
you have. Look,
that would require most of us to have played it.
I have never
And
played Among Us.
I've never played
Played
it.
a little bit with friends.
Didn't say I got a good deal for it. Well done, Travis. Nice.
Sell your bed for more than $10 if you're
Ooh,
planning on
yeah, I
subscribing to
don't know if I would. I don't want to buy a used mattress, and I
Bad
definitely
bed.
don't want to buy one for $10. I'd rather take one for free, honestly.
I got
I
my
wanna
mattress.
I wanna circle back to what I
Yeah.
was gonna say before.
Oh,
the,
yeah.
the beard water
Continue,
comment
yeah,
confused
yeah,
me.
Oh, okay, sure.
It's also a matter of scale.
Yes,
The parasocial relationship,
yes,
right?
yes.
So, yes, one part of it is just like who we are and how we behave and what we think. Like, I've always known that I deserve the love and adoration of all of the people that I meet. That's not necessarily
You
universally
really are
applicable.
like Kelsier. Dang. Oh, you're killing
We're
me.
seeing a
Arjun.
through line here.
I keep saying that and no one ever believes
Oh,
me.
I'm well aware. It's just such a reminder.
I like how this is just like more of that, and like probably most of the people watching this are like, oh my god, you did 3 hours of content yesterday, and now we're doing like a long ass stream that's basically also kind of like a podcast. Fun.
No.
But it's the other thing is like how like the magnitude of the parasocial relationship, right? Because you go to a con, or any of the other, like any of us go to a con, and the number of people that like recognize us, or at least the number of people that come up to us and say something, is, you know, in the tens, right? We're nowhere near at like even Daniel Green level.
Oh yeah,
right?
not at all. Yeah, of course not.
Let alone like Brandon and Isaac and Peter and people like that who are like who in my opinion need security to walk around them, because otherwise they get stopped all of the time and they cannot get to the places they need to get to. Like, that is parasocial relationship.
Well, I mean, that's like celebrity. Like I don't know if it's exactly parasocial relationship, but I see what you're saying.
Mhm.
But
So,
yeah, But
if you do want to genuinely become my friend in a non-parasocial way, please play the award-winning Final Fantasy XIV and live blog it in our thread, and you will be my best friend
does
instantly.
anyone want to play Guild Wars 2 with me? You didn't want to play the desert expansion with me, Alex. I see how it is.
Listen.
Someday
listen.
I'll play.
How
Final
many
Fantasy 14.
times has the story of Guild Wars 2 made you sob openly? Because Endwalker got me like 3 times. So
Okay, no.
See-
no, never. Never.
exactly, here we go.
My goal
Never.
is just to make you cry in our D&D game. That is
You're
always
really
my
good
goal.
at that, actually.
I-
You bully my poor cat quite a lot.
Yeah.
Not Dalish, my fictional
Definitely,
cat.
But there's
and
a
I take
question about
advantage
cats
of
later.
your love of Maries and all of the things.
That is true.
I love just like listening to them on Shardcast because I learn things that I can use
Mhm.
against them.
Oh no. This is the real consequence of us having a podcast is everybody who DMs or GMs for us like knows all of our weaknesses.
Mm-hmm. True. And don't worry, there is a question about cats later. It's not too far away, so just wait. Cool. Mist Mage asks a very good question that honestly could be a podcast. Red-colored investiture has been noted as corrupted or tainted in the Cosmere. How have you guys interpreted that statement? Because even our villains, Jesus. Even our villains. I'm doing great. I woke up 3 times last night. I'm sorry. Because even our villains, Odium or Autonomy, are full shards in their own right, using investiture that belongs to them. So what about it makes it corrupted? Could it be that more that Shard A invests a planet and creates a magic system, and then Shard B comes along and starts using their investiture within the existing magic system, therefore corrupting it?
I have a very easy answer to this, and it is that red is sometimes a sign of corrupted investiture. That does not prevent shards from just like doing red things. Like, I think Autonomy's investiture is red flavored in the same way that Cultivations is green and Preservation and Ruin are white and black and so on. And that has nothing to do with corruption. That is just red, right? And then sometimes investiture just gets like whenever we talk about corrupted investiture or co-opted investiture, I think of like wounds and festering wounds and how those become red, right? Different things that produce similar results.
I will say we have another super chat. Thank you so much.
Yes, thank you.
€6 for all the Lost Metal content.
I
$6
appreciate it,
European
Jono.
dollars.
Yeah, no.
Ow.
Not European dollars. No.
It's not what it is. Awesome.
This is the sort of question where I go, I can't wait to find out what Brandon's answer to this is, and I have no thoughts of my own on the matter. So
That's where I'm at right now. I'm just like,
I legit don't know what's going on with Brandon and color stuff, you know? Like it's legitimately kind of confusing, you know? So it's kind of interesting. Cool. No, I'll go do duplicate questions later. Cool. Lady of Scars asks, not Lord of Scars, Lady of Scars. So probably Alex's
so
favorite.
Mare, I guess.
I guess Mare, yeah, sure.
yeah, that works.
If you could insert the shard cats or other shard pets into Brandon's books, which characters would you like them to replace? And for the non-pet owning sharders, if you could adopt a Brandon character in the form of a pet, who would it be and what pet form would you like them to take? This is a very creative question that is completely bonkers. It's like, I could have my cat be Kaladin here. That's the situation here. I think legally, Alex, we need to go get our cats. Do you agree?
I can go try to find her. I don't know what she's up to right now.
I'm
but
gonna
I
go
will
try and
I will
find one
go
of my
see.
cats.
So you guys
have fun
answer real
answering
quick.
that. I'll be back.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
do have an answer for this.
Okay, go
it's
ahead.
gonna be Adolin as some kind of dog, because it just fits.
Oh, he's a
And I
golden
like
retriever.
dogs. It's like but like golden retrievers are fine. They're not my favorite breed of dog.
Okay.
Like I would want like a slightly like a medium-sized dog.
This is Sky.
Okay.
Hello, Sky.
Like a collie.
Oh, he really doesn't
like
want to
collies.
be here. Oh my god. Wow, he really doesn't want to be. Hi, it's okay, Sky. Hello,
She's
buddy.
yelling at me because I woke her up. Want to say hi?
He was just laying in the hall. Sky is a cutie pie. He looks really evil in the camera here. Okay, all right, he's leaving.
I put in the
I-
headphones, it doesn't work. Cool. So I couldn't hear any of that.
That's fine. My answer is Catvin.
Catvin is a good one.
It's
I
pretty
was
good.
gonna also go the Mistborn route and say that if we had Dalish instead of Kelsier, I think the Cosmere would be infinitely more chaotic, but probably not less frustrating. So
Who would Aona be? Who would Aona and Sky be other than their canon characters?
other than Fiona and Sky.
Look, Aona, fun fact, I don't know if you know this Cosmere lore, but Aona the vessel likes eating feet, mice feet in particular. I don't know if you know this. No, that's the cat, not the vessel. She will not like go try and like bite other people's feet. It's just mine. Like Jess is totally fine. Anyone other than that, I have to use an orange spray to get her off my feet so I can eat dinner. This happens like every day. Turtle CZ. That's pretty good. That's pretty good.
I like that.
I don't know. I guess Aona and Sky would just be there. They'll be dead by Odium. So that's nice. But
Ooh.
Sky is I gotta admit, I think Sky, my cat Sky, not Vessel Sky, it is kind of like Adolin in a lot of ways. He's very chill and is good buddy. He's my kitty buddy. Anyway,
Dalish is murdering the rainbow. So
nice.
hi, baby.
Cool. Awesome. Math Guy Dave asks, have any of you read Dan Wells's books? Thoughts? Recommendations?
I've read I Am Not a Serial Killer, and then I've read his Partials trilogy. And I enjoyed them.
I have not. I'm really bad at reading books in general. I feel like I barely get through the Brandon ones.
There's a lot of them, to be fair.
Despite the fact that my TBR is like not that long, it's also probably going to take me years. So I don't read as much as I should. Oops.
I read the serial killer books. I read Partials, and I thought it was much worse than the serial killer books. I thought the first serial killer trilogy was very good. Yeah. But Partials was not good, in my opinion.
I have not read any of them. I do want to read them at some point. The last couple of years have been just Brandon kicking my butt left and right, and I have felt difficulty reading other things.
It's like actually a problem, because like we should probably read stuff that isn't just Brandon all the time, 'cause, for like breadth of like knowledge about things. Yeah.
Yeah, like I read a lot, but I'm actually very excited, having just earlier today read the blurb for Dark One Forgotten, Coven with Dan. Like, oh, this actually sounds rather interesting. I'm looking forward to this.
That was the true crime, right?
Yeah.
True crime.
I don't know. I really liked the graphic novel Dark One, and I don't know what's going on with this universe, so it's kind of
This is a
hard for me to get
very
invested.
different story. It's so like this. At least Dark One Forgotten is not retelling the same story as the graphic novel.
Yeah.
Which I approve.
Yeah.
retelling the graphic novel. I'm like,
It's very
"Mm,
bizarre what's occurring here.
yeah.
Cool. We sort of talked about this, but Lotus asks, did y'all enjoy going to Dragonsteel 2022? Do you plan on going to it next year, or does it depend on timing / cost, etc.?
It always depends on timing
Mhm.
Yeah.
and cost, right?
Yeah. I greatly enjoyed, and like, I don't know if I'll go next year, but I'll definitely be there for definitely to the extent that I can decide things 2 years in advance. I will be there for 2024.
For Stormlight.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yep,
I
for
feel like
Stormlight.
we're all hoping to be there for Stormlight. Yeah.
Stormlight would be hard to miss. I
Yeah.
really, really do want to prioritize Stormlight.
Mhm.
I was sad I could not make. I haven't made quite a few of them recently. Although we did have like all of the COVID stuff. There weren't in person events, but
Mhm.
yeah, for me it actually ends up being more like how much time can I get off. I don't get a lot of time off from my job,
Yeah.
unfortunately. So. And I was doing international travel during Dragonsteel Con this year, so it
Mhm.
wouldn't have worked out anyway.
Yeah.
Ah.
I might go. I don't know. Cytoverse is not like
Mhm.
super exciting to me. Like I like the books well enough, right?
Mhm.
And so I think if I do end up going, it's going to be more for the social aspect of it. I mean, obviously, I'm going to go to some panels and things, but like, I am between Lost Metal, Defiant, which I assume is what next year is going to be, and Stormlight 5. I am definitely by far the least excited about Defiant.
Yeah, I mean, that's fair.
I did get to meet Jancy, which was amazing.
Jancy's
Hey.
lovely.
So she's so
She was fun.
I have
Uh,
actually never been to a convention like at all. So that would now that the signings are more like convention style, I'm kind of curious what it's like.
Yeah, it's fun.
Some
Honestly,
panels and
yeah.
guest speakers and stuff like that. Like
Yeah.
the old signings did not have any of that stuff. So
No,
Mhm.
but there were still a lot of people, though. That's for sure. Even at Words of Radiance. But
Dalish, it's very fluffy now. I don't know
very
why.
fluffy. She's not as
What's
fluffy as
wrong,
Aeon
Dalish?
or Sky,
Okay,
though.
bye bye.
But yeah, Defiant actually comes out the week of Thanksgiving, and I have that week off, which makes it a lot easier for me to go there as a teacher.
That's nice.
Whereas Lost Metal, I think Tor doesn't want to put something out on the week of Thanksgiving, whereas I think Dragonsteel does for the con, so people can travel. But I think Tor doesn't want that because I think they'll get better sales if they don't put it on the week of Thanksgiving. That is my conspiracy theory that is not founded on really anything, but that's my theory. But yeah. But we'll see. I'm getting married, so we'll see. Cool. All right. Okay, we're almost done with the initial ones. But I should probably refresh the page. Pseudo asks, not Suda, who's someone else.
We met Pseudo.
And Suda met Pseudo.
Yeah.
Did that happen at the con? Really?
It
Yeah.
did. It
Oh,
did.
that's really funny. Pseudo asks, how do you think noses are involved in the game Noseball? So this was the sport Wayne invented in Lost Metal, right? Invented.
He didn't invent it.
Invent it.
He's
He
professional.
organized it.
He's
Uh,
revolutionizing.
Yes.
Noseball has been very low on the list of things that I think about when I think of
It's
the
true.
Lost Metal.
True. Very true.
I was thinking that this was maybe more of like because the World Cup is going on, I'll call it football. Football in the EU style and like volleyball sort of a thing where like you're doing a lot of hitting with your head, and that maybe noseball is kind of like a tongue-in-cheek term because a lot of people break their noses if you hit the ball wrong. Could be sort of a thing. I don't think
I
you
guess,
would
like-
want to hit a ball with your nose. Noses are pretty fragile. Don't do that.
No, like I know, like in my mind, it's very baseball in my like. That's just what I'm picturing, and like I don't know how noses correlate to that.
Oh, it's very bizarre.
So I'm with Alex on this one.
Mhm.
However, I would like to offer an alternative and much more ridiculous explanation.
Okay.
The reason it's called nosebow is because it plays out a little bit like a mix between golf and soccer, where somebody designated at some points like lays on the ground and you balance a ball on their nose, and then
This is a terrible idea.
there is
Oh, no.
like you have to kick the ball, like that's your
I'm with
kind
the
of the-
broadsheet person who says this game is a bad idea all of a sudden.
I should probably read the broadsheet. I haven't read it.
Broadsheet's good.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I
Once
really
I get it
enjoyed
framed and put
the
it in my
Nikki
stairwell.
Savage story.
then
It
I'll
was
read it.
lovely.
Yeah. Oof. That does sound like a terrible idea.
Or, it could be like American football and it has nothing to do with noses.
I bet the ball is shaped
Could be.
like a nose. Good idea. Nice. Look, if we can have the weird ovals. I don't know. I guess we'll see. Cool. Green Wolf 998 asks, now that Brandon has said that gloves are off, do you think that we'll see even more familiar faces and magic systems from other worlds in Stormlight 5?
Sorry to any Vorons in the chat. The gloves are off.
By the way, on the interview with Travis Gafford in the chat and Harold on Patreon, check his stuff out. Brandon did say that the gloves is off thing was what he wanted to talk about after Stormlight 5. So that is this. I think no. I don't think it's going to be that bad other than like Ghost Bloody stuff. I think there's too much Roshar to wrap up.
Yep. I think Stormlight 5 is going to have fewer / less significant connections to the Cosmere than the Lost Metal did.
Yeah.
It's my opinion is like factions from the greater Cosmere are going to could potentially be more of a focus, but like individual cameos like code names are stupid or Moonlight aren't going to be happening.
Yeah.
We have a big enough like individual cast, but like
So much to do.
the Ghost Bloods are going to be important.
Has to be, right?
Other
Mhm.
I'm gonna say not multiverse because Cosmere isn't a multiverse, but Cosmere wide factions
Mhm.
are probably gonna start getting their hands in the game.
I feel like the rumblings that we get from the Lost Metal sort of imply that things are about to be real bad on Roshar really soon.
It's true.
Just the writing on the wall right there. And so I think Stormlight 5 is maybe going to be something that is going to have a lot of implications for the wider Cosmere. Like, I think that's a little bit more what I'm expecting to see out of Stormlight 5 of like, oh, this is why everybody in the Cosmere is upset about what's going on Roshar and like feeling the shockwaves of it. But less like things from the outside coming into the story and more what's happening on Roshar is going to have an impact on the Cosmere at large is my vibe.
So baking soda volcano.
Yeah. Like, I think this is why we see a lot of Rosharans maybe on Scadrial, that there's maybe some refugees and everybody who can get off the planet maybe did, because I think it's about to be real bad. And then we get a time skip and it's gonna be devastating. I'm very excited about it.
Characters are gonna die in Stormlight 5.
Oh, no. Or just if it's really bad, maybe it's worse if they're alive. Like maybe the dead ones
True.
are the lucky ones.
True.
That's kind of the vibes I'm
True.
going for
True.
of the
True.
level of devastation
Look,
we should
all I
expect.
want is for Shallan and Adolin to have a kid who can have blonde, red, and black hair and be Yugi in the back
Yu-Gi-Oh,
half.
yeah.
That's very important, okay? And actually, the back half is all about trading cards, believe it or not. it's a big left turn there.
Also, like, considering how much of a sort of like character arc theme Kaladin's survival has been, of like the people around Kaladin who die are the lucky ones, and Kaladin's survival is a torment that he can't get out of. I would just like love for Stormlight 5 to sort of bring that all the way home.
Oh, like
and
Daniel's
just-
idea of killing Syl?
Ooh, yeah, something nasty is gonna happen to Roshar. I think
Ooh.
it's not gonna be good. And then we get to check in. What is it? 10 years after
Yeah, 10
whatever
years, I
this,
think.
Yeah.
Cosmere nuke is that's about to go off.
I think Roshar still exists, Jarno. It's just not gonna be pretty.
It's just bad
Yeah.
right now. It's bad.
I love the meme that is Calvin going, I always survive, and then Kelsier going, I always survive.
They have to duel it out for a theoretical survive Dawn Shard.
I think the Roshar we are going to get in book 6 will look incredibly different from the Roshar we've had for the first 5 books. Is my like I think we're going like a post-apocalyptic sort of change.
Yikes.
That's my implication.
Let's do a more fun question from Psycho. If you were going to
Post-apocalypse isn't fun.
yeah. Look, I said I like characters suffering. You said Lift being in a cage wasn't so bad. So, we're getting ready to have our...
quoting me way out of context. On that
Is
quote.
it though? Is it though?
I mean,
Is
I
it
think it's an accurate quote. That's
I have
Compared
the
to
specific
things the
timestamp
set
written
we're
down.
doing.
I have the thing written down. I'm gonna put that in a thing. Maybe I'll put it
Oh,
as a
no.
short. No. It'll be a
Oh
clip.
no.
just make a
This is
gif
very
out of it.
bad. This
Yeah.
is terrible.
Yeah, easy. Anyway, happier things. Psycho asks, if you were going to ship Syl with another Spren, who would it be? I have an answer. I think there's an easy answer.
Another Spren.
Yeah. Easy answer.
Zeth's High Spren. They're gonna bond on the road trip, and the High Spren all need
Yeah.
to lighten up. There we go. That's my answer.
Uapam.
Nightblood. Boom. Ship it. Ship it or rip it. We'll do one of those in 2025, I'm sure.
Of course,
2026.
yeah.
Or maybe right before Stormlight 5 comes out. Yeah, maybe one of those.
I do feel like Syl maybe has like baby lesbian vibes though, and I don't know what gender Zeth's High Spren is. I feel like she needs a lady Spren.
Sure. Sure.
That's my
Fair.
vibe with Syl.
I can see that. I think she is going to have a blast with Uapam because they have this kind of energy. Like she's reckless and playful and energetic all of the time, and he's just like very careful and deliberate and intentional about everything that he does. So I think she's going to frustrate him and drive him crazy in all the best ways.
Nice.
I have no answer to this.
Cool. All right. Next one from Lotus. Do you think we will see Wayne's statue in Era 3? Will people wish each other happy Wayne-ness and a new hat? Or happy Wayne-miss, sorry.
Yeah.
It's kind of
I mean, like, I hope that, like, we see the statue. No to Wayne Miss. I don't want him to become that important culturally. I want him to be remembered. I don't want him to, like, redefine culture.
Yeah.
Wayne did a lot in The Lost Metal to bring me sort of more back around on him, but he's still not my favorite Era 2 character, so.
Yeah. I see the Wayne's giving content, but Wayne was never about giving. He was always about taking.
I mean, at the end there, though, I wouldn't mind seeing, like, I feel like Marasi is going to be still a pretty major character in Era 3. Like, I'm expecting, like, awesome lady general in charge of the basin during the Cold War, under a lot of stress, leaning on her ambassadorial knowledge of the Malwish, sort of Marasi. And I wouldn't mind a scene where, like, she goes to visit Wayne's statue and
that'd be
like
nice. Yeah.
just has a little moment. That'd be good.
That'd be nice.
Remembers the good old days from her youth.
Agreed. Cool. Greyhive asks, theoretically, would a sleepless that is connected to Nalthus, perhaps born, air quotes, there,
How many
have
breaths?
a breath or breaths, one for each hordling?
I don't want to talk about the sleepless anymore. This is a bad
Bug
topic for me.
Mraze. If you
No.
are watching this video, I want you to put hashtag Bug Mraze in chat
Just
and in the
like
comments later. Do
all
it.
of you. I
Thanks.
dislike all of you.
No one
It's
knows what we're talking about.
I don't think it would be as simple as they would be born with breath, because it's a very human thing. Like, I don't even know if singers migrated to Nalthus, if they would start being born with breath, just because that's
Yeah, okay.
very human in setup.
Sure.
That I think it would require endowment to make some tweaks of the system for that to be possible.
This chat is terrible right now.
The way I am approaching this is I'm saying, do animals on Nalthus have like not necessarily breath, but like extra investiture? Are they extra invested? And while I think that is possible, I don't think it is the case.
Yeah, but could Sapiens change that though? I don't know.
Right, and that's the follow-up question, right?
Yeah.
And I think the answer is also no.
I think I agree that perhaps this is maybe just a human thing. And I noticed somebody in chat called this racist, but I think actually we have some canonical evidence that endowment would be semi-xenophobic about races that exist that come from other worlds, given that our one endowment letter was talking about hey, none of the other shards were supposed to settle together and I'm the only one who did it right. All the rest of you are on your own and I don't care what happens to you. I do not necessarily think that even a sleepless that was technically born on Nalthus would be accepted enough by endowment as a real Nalthian to qualify for breath consideration. Would be my vibe.
I think endowment and Kelsier would get along quite nicely because they're both I'm right, all of y'all were wrong.
And maybe if a large population of singers migrated, I think it's only humans get them because humans were the only ones there when endowment set up the system. So it's she's not going to go through the effort of oh yeah, and if singers from Moshar show up, they're also going to be included. It's because they're not supposed to be there. So one-offs, I think are going to be ignored. But if a sizable population emigrated to the planet, maybe endowment would change things.
I don't think each hordling would have a breath though. I think it would be weirder.
No.
Yeah. I will say I disagree that I think endowment and Kelsier would get along, because endowment sounds like a rule follower to me. That was a very skybreakery sort of y'all broke the rules, you are going to suffer consequences, and I don't care.
She's apparently erratic.
That doesn't surprise me.
Yeah.
Nail is also very erratic. You
Okay,
can be a rule follower who is also wildly erratic.
That's a fair point.
I think an interesting question here is how much magic can Sleepless gain access to?
Look, I still think the back covers clearly imply that they have been Radiants before. Bug Radiants.
We have a thing about hemalurgy and Sleepless, don't we? Didn't we talk about this at one point? Was that on the Kelsier episode?
No, that wasn't on the Kelsier episode. No, it wasn't.
Yeah, I think there is a wob about a spike might be enough to disconnect a hordling from, because it would change the hordling's identity too much to be part of the network.
It's also be a tiny bug and kill it, but that'll do the trick.
I mean, some hordlings get very big.
That's true. You're not wrong. Cool. Well, I'm sure Alex really loved that mechanics question, so I'm glad to be here. Thanks for coming, Alex.
Sleepless, my favorite
Bug Mraze.
Now,
this is a thing that Punny in Discord
I don't even think
developed.
Punny came up with it.
I don't
Punny
know.
is just like the first person that I heard it from, and
Yes.
it was atrocious.
Bug Mraze. Mraze is
and
a
then I-
sleepless all along.
Made some bad back alley deals.
Though
and-
to be fair, there is a
in
wob
official
that
position.
the Ghostbloods wouldn't like a sleepless, I think. But maybe they don't know.
No, there's a
They wouldn't
But we
trust one.
we have a canon thing that there's a sleepless working with the Ghostbloods.
Yeah,
That's in the
it's in
book.
Rhythm of War.
Yeah.
Yeah,
in there, so-
I guess that's true.
that, I
yeah,
mean,
right.
that is true.
Like I don't think
I don't
they
think it's
would
Mraze.
integrate the Ghostblood like the sleepless as a Ghostblood. I don't think they would do that. I think they could work with someone in a mutually beneficial agreement.
I'm
Which I
just
think
really
is different.
afraid that Punny has maybe made some really good points to this effect, and I am maybe genuinely scared that this is a real
That
possibility.
raises a bug. Raises-
Yes, and I don't want it to be. Haven't I already got
sexy
haven't I
bugs? Let's
I
go.
am taking
Of my
notes
ghost
about
bloods.
this for
Don't.
no reason whatsoever.
Make
do not?
for your D&D campaign, make a really hot villain that turns out to be like bugs. For
We
Alex.
already maybe have a Mraze XP in my character's story, and please do not turn him into a bunch of bugs because he's actually pretty cute, and I'm into it. We are for anybody who's like a Critical Role fan in the chat. We are playing in Exandria, and my character recently joined the Myriad.
Yeah.
So
I got rid of the gentleman because I didn't want the Mighty
Not
Nine
the
to be a thing.
Yep.
Cool.
But,
I know all about this.
there you go.
Awesome. Next, Pseudo asks every time. What are your Smedry talents?
Ooh.
I can answer this because we talked about it
did talk about
on one of our episodes.
But
It's
Evgeny and Alex haven't.
yeah. So I will answer to give them time to think.
Yeah.
Which is I can travel into the future by getting by daydreaming and getting distracted or reading books or something. And it's like, oh wait, I thought like 20 minutes went by and it's been 3 hours. Great.
That's a fun one. They all need to be like mostly useless and fairly inconvenient, right? That's like the Smedry talent sort of. It's been a while since I read any.
No, they're like
Alcatraz.
magically useful. They sound like they're stupid and useless, but they're actually magical powers. Like getting lost is teleportation.
Okay, all right.
Right.
So I have the powers of prophecy that come to me in dreams, but not all of my dreams are prophetic.
You're that character from House of the Dragons.
This is difficult.
The daughter.
Oh, man.
Yeah, I guess kind of like that.
You're
The reason I say this is because I was thinking of like dream wobs.
Oh, true. Right. Where you jumped a wob and it may or may not be real. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Nice. I approve.
I don't know if I can come up with one. This is tough.
Here's mine. I'm always tired. Nice.
That's just a downside. That's not a talent.
No, that is a talent.
Yeah, like
so
how is
tired.
that magically useful?
You can't get tired.
Because I'm already at 0%.
Yeah.
I don't know. I didn't think that far, but I'm sure you can figure it out in the chat. But I'm much more interested in talking about what Cat Production Studios said in chat. Which Shardcast host is most likely to be bugs?
Well, we're gonna throw this to our resident expert, Alex.
I'm now the sleepless expert on the cast.
Yeah.
No.
Actually, after Stormlight 5, you need to update the Sleepless page again. Go through
Oh,
every instance of
God.
Kremling and put that in there. Nice.
Dang, and I can't even say Punny because Punny's not on Shardcast, so I
Nice.
can't say
Can't.
that this theory was
can't.
like sleepless propaganda.
Ooh, nice. True.
No, who would be bugs? I'm gonna say, actually, Argent, it's you, because you would be able to send hordlings to every Sanderson signing and listen in on everything on the table. There you go.
Nice.
I'm
I
sold.
Found
support
out.
that.
Actually, that
I'm
would be very
sold.
useful at signing.
Right?
Who's the
all of the
recorder
fandom
for
events
this?
that Argent goes to, are we so sure that there aren't multiple Argents running around?
The
Yes.
beard hides the seams.
That's why you need the beard water.
God.
Nice.
I love it.
Cool. Luca again asks, even though the whole situation with the White Sand Omnibus and the comics in general was quite a mess, what is your opinion on future Cosmere comic books?
I want them to be a thing.
So, look, I genuinely think Dark One was a great graphic novel.
It was really good, yeah.
I like it. Like,
Mhm.
there is no regrets in like me buying it. I am happy with the production and everything about it. The only thing I'm not happy is that Volume 2 is not out yet. But
Mhm.
there have been no promises on the
Yeah.
timeline of Volume 2, right?
Yeah.
So this is me. It's in the same way when you finish a show of a beloved TV show and you want the second one. Like it's that
Mhm.
kind of unhappiness, right? I don't know if I worry that Dynamite has just like poisoned this well for Dragonsteel.
Mhm.
Potentially.
Look, we are gonna do an omnibus episode sometime.
In 2023.
Yes, definitely. If half one of 2023, probably. But you can buy the digital edition of the omnibus now.
Yeah, that's true.
Apparently. And yeah, we are definitely going to talk a bit about the bungling of that, because it's not good. It's really bad, actually.
Yeah, I think I do prefer like Cosmere graphic novels to be new stories rather than like
Yes.
adaptations of existing stories.
Mhm.
One, because I think we have such incredible fan artists in this fandom that like we have such beautiful visual representations of the stories that already exist. But yeah, I do think this one has caused some issues in that idea. So
Stop me.
And ultimately, like you want a story
know.
to be matched to its medium.
Yeah.
Like, taking a prose novel and adapting it to a graphic novel
yeah,
doesn't always work well. In the same way, like
Yeah.
adapting it to film doesn't always work
Yeah.
very well.
Like, I just want Brandon to stop wanting to do novelizations of graphic novels, because I would
Mhm.
just rather read the novelization, and that makes me less excited for the graphic novel.
Mhm.
Like, why are we doing this?
And to be clear, it's like because some people are blind and cannot consume graphic novels. It's like there is like audio adaptations of graphic novels like do exist, and I like I'm glad they exist, but like a prose adaptation of, even though it's very similar, it's different enough in my mind that
Mhm.
Someone was recently talking about like the state of the Arcanist, the
Mhm.
sequel to White Sand, which is supposed to follow Chris in Darkside.
Mm.
I would like that to be a graphic novel,
Yes.
because visually I think Darkside is way more compelling than Dayside.
Also, the new artwork in the omnibus actually looks really good. I really like it, actually. Like
Yeah.
the prologue and stuff and the new pages they've added. I really actually dig that art style. It's
Yeah.
definitely
Hopefully
the best.
this has just been like growing pains into
Yeah.
getting into this medium.
Yeah.
Because I do think one of the things that like Team Dragonsteel has is they have gotten really, really good at art that goes along with these stories. I think that's something that like Stormlight started, and they've just gotten better over time in terms of like us getting official prints and also art that's going into the books and things like that. And so I think like they really have a lot of tools to have this work really well. And I'm hoping there's maybe some lessons learned that they can take away from this to move forward with new projects rather than this was a mess, let's not do this again.
Yeah.
But that's going to be up to them whether or not they want to try to tackle another story in this way.
Yeah. But if there was a sequel that, you know, was omnibus quality the whole way through, that would be really cool. That'd be nice. I would buy that, and without reservation, I think. Yeah. No more boombox, guys. It's gone.
Gone.
Yep.
Yeah.
No more ceiling fans. No more horses.
No more blood IV infusion.
That's right. Yes.
I need to
I actually haven't checked that, but I think that's also gone.
I'm sure that's removed.
Or saline infusion, probably. Because
Yeah.
it was not blood colored.
Oh yes, floor lamps.
Yeah, floor lamps.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Honestly, that stuff was so silly and out of world that it was legitimately funny and maybe a highlight of the thing for me. Like, it actually adds to the experience. I'm actually kind of sad about it because it's so good to meme on.
Gonna
We'll
go
always
and
have the memes in our
frame.
hearts.
Yeah.
Gonna frame my volume 1 boombox panel page.
Classy. Our last question from the patron Q&A, maybe we'll go a bit longer asking, maybe just chatting and answering questions from chat. Because it's only been like 90 minutes. Whoa. So short. It's not even close to 3 hours of starting. What the hell? Lotus asks, if y'all could choose a team of 5 characters to defend you, presumably from the Cosmere. I should probably continue reading this. Which characters from Brandon's works would you choose? Great job, Eric.
To defend me.
Okay. This is so easy.
And like they're obligated to defend me. I'm assuming it's
Yeah,
Or
implicit.
do
I
you
think
do you
so.
have to
Pokemon
like
style.
consider how you're going to keep their loyalty? I think this is just you're hiring them as bodyguards. How reliable are they going to be? I think that's a big factor.
No, I think
I
we're just
have
doing the
to-
super team. We're just building.
No,
a
I
super
have
team.
to clarify. Do they have to defend me from like
Oh, Lotus says they're obligated. Actually,
Ooh.
Okay,
Lotus
thank you.
clarified.
Top of my list, Odium as in race. Like,
Okay.
I
Guess he
was
should
gonna say
start
it
with
involves
shards.
Ruin.
Oh.
Ruin is good at killing people.
All right.
Preservation would be good at keeping me alive.
Okay.
Mhm.
You're just trying to pick 5 shards.
Yes.
Just do
Valor, I think.
Valor. Yeah.
Good vibes.
Yeah. All right.
Oh, I have a good answer for you. I mean, not for you, for me.
For Lotus.
And I'll go Autonomy Bavadin. She has armies.
True.
Yeah.
True.
Valid. I don't live a very dangerous life. And so I'm just going to pick characters that I want to hang out with.
I'm gonna answer a totally different question.
I mean, I am picking, Yasna and Chris and Vasher and Sazed.
Okay, so you'll probably be pretty safe.
Right, so like
Okay.
I'm not worried about assassins and things like that. So
yet.
yes, they sure. They are my bodyguards, but I don't really need bodyguards, so I just want people that I want. Oh, and Hoyd. I just want to have people that I want to hang out with.
Nice.
I think
Also seduce.
I'm gonna grab Kaladin as like just straight up bodyguard. His whole thing is about protecting people. I think he's pretty good at it. I think I want Yasna as well because she also is like pretty good in a fight, but also is very good at like protecting your political interests. Like I think she plays the court game well. I'm thinking about I need different kinds of protection if I'm going to be a mover and shaker in the Cosmere.
Oh, okay.
I am going
gotta
to
fight
grab.
the Ghost Bloods here. Alex is getting ready.
No, I'm also grabbing Braze to watch the underworld and be
Yeah.
my
Where-
like, criminal
where-
mover and shaker.
Where are you grabbing Braze?
Okay, this is not an after hours chat. We are being good.
Which bugs
Right.
of Mraze are you grabbing?
There are no bugs involved with Braze. Listen. Who else? I mean, this is just going to be. This is also like characters I want to hang out with and who I'd want. But I feel like I'll grab. I need somebody to see the future for me, so I'll take Renarin.
I'm sure you will.
Yes, like I'm sure there's better future seers, but I trust Renarin, so he's gonna be on my team. And
Nice.
then I am going to do Final Empire Kelsier, where he's still a Mythborn, and where he now has to take my orders so I can keep him out of trouble. And he's going to be way more
Changing the
effective when
Cosmere
he's
here.
not doing his own thing.
Nice.
But also now I have a Mistborn
Nice.
as well.
Easy.
There we go.
I also
There can be mutual protection here, Matt.
Yeah. I think this is like choosing a Pokemon team, but the Cosmere characters. And I
Yes,
think
a little bit. Mhm.
choosing shards is cheating. Sorry, Ian. So I'm gonna choose non-shards.
Was not established.
I agree.
They are characters
agree.
in the
Look,
Cosmere.
you can use all legendary Pokemon in Pokemon. You can do that. That's fine. I just choose not to, okay? So there you go. So Kaladin, Finn, the Lord Ruler. That'll be a fun Finn and the Lord Ruler. What could go wrong? We should probably grab some Radiance, huh?
You got Kaladin.
Yeah, but
you
like,
got a Radiant.
you know.
You need those type matchups for like when the gym battles come.
That's true,
Radiants are
that's
effective
true,
against
yes.
Alamancers. Or
Yeah. Like I feel like you want a good like Lerasium strength Mistborn and like the Lord Ruler being like the best compounder. Nice.
That's true,
Like
yeah,
that's
yeah.
ridiculously overpowered, and so like how you can't lose with that. Along with a Radiant to put plate on you or something, right? Ooh, I got two more. Let's put Palm. Let's put Palm there. Palm's good. She's totally on my side. And then bye to Mishram.
Shocker.
I was wondering if we're gonna get there.
Bye to Mishram. Boom. What will she do in a fight? Who knows? We'll see. Hopefully a badass. Probably. Maybe.
Hang out in a jam.
Yeah.
Ba'Edo
in the
Mishram is
Pokeball.
legendary. Come on.
Yeah,
It's
that's
like
not a shard,
a
though.
series flagship, but like it's like a Articuno level legendary.
I'm just saying Bottomishram was too small of a god. Okay, Ian. It's canon.
Mhm.
That
Alright.
implies still a god.
Well, I'm just saying it's not a shard. And like you chose 5 shards, so don't critique me here, okay?
The questioner disagrees with you. Lotus is saying Ba'Edo Mishram is shard adjacent, so
I mean, that's fine. It's shard adjacent. That's fine. Yeah. No shards. Takes Ba'Edo Mishram and the Lord Ruler. Okay, thanks.
listen.
They're not shards. I set up the parameters and I followed them, okay?
Mhm,
For what I'm
mhm.
doing.
I mean, I think it was quite clear.
Yeah. Nice.
Mhm.
Hey, how you
I
doing,
made my
chat?
team before those rules were in place, so they're still legal.
No, it's fine. It's fine. These are my personal rules, okay? They
Mhm.
don't need to be your rules. I'm not opposing it on anyone else. Healers.
I have
Ooh,
Renarin.
healers.
I have a
you do
healer.
have a healer.
I've got a
I have-
great healer.
I had preservation. Good at preserving my body.
I
Ba'Edo
would
Mishram.
argue that soul casting is kind of like healing.
You just soul cast the blood back into your body.
It is
It'll be
canonically
fine.
possible.
Mhm.
There was a poison cure via soul casting on page.
Mhm.
I'm sure if Ba Ada Mishram grants me Void Light directly, that's probably have a healing effect. That's
Yeah.
kind
And
of
you
like
probably
a
can't
healer.
use it, but yeah.
You might need a gem heart for that though, and the process of putting a gem heart in a human looked pretty deeply unpleasant the few times we've seen it. You
Ooh,
know?
I have a great After Dark comment, and we're just not gonna do that today. I'll message it. I'll write it
today.
down and message it to you, Alex.
Just put it in a dock.
Yeah, I will.
Nick from the chat, if you become wounded, preservation would endeavor to preserve that wounded state of you. It depends on when they start preserving you, because if they start preserving me when I'm fine, they would want to preserve that. Is my logic.
I just like all of these like combat situations that you guys are thinking, and like in my head, like I am in this estate somewhere in the remote countryside, and I've got my feet up and whatever, and like Chris is in the next room over just writing something on a desk, and then Hoyd is playing the flute. I'm not saying I'm right and all of you are wrong, but one of us four here is gonna have the best time of their life, and the other four are gonna get murdered, or the other three rather.
Yeah, I'm gonna
I'm
be
pretty
defended.
pleased with how much fun my team would be, you know?
Yeah, I'm gonna have a blast.
Also, I feel like I've protected myself from multiple types of threats, like not just violent threats, but like my political enemies aren't going to be able to undermine me.
Mm-hmm.
The criminals in wherever country I have set up are not going to be able to find any footholds against me. You know, we have multiple areas of vulnerability covered by my expert team.
Palm can take care of it. And Bada Mishram. And the Lord Ruler.
Palm would be actually. Ooh.
See, Palm's really good, right?
Okay, I'm gonna kick Kelsier out. I'm gonna take Palm instead because I think
Palm's so
Kendra
good.
is
She's
so
such a
helpful.
good choice.
And she's got some allomancy, so yeah, we'll say I'm gonna
very
swap
useful.
Palm
Very useful.
for-
The Lord
Gotta
Ruler's
love a
Chandra.
Kandra character.
So good. So good. I you know what a favorite scene is? Just that scene in Shadows of Self where Harmony's just like, hey, I'm just gonna tell you about what the villain is, and you're like, oh, that's what we can do in Era 2. Holy crap. And then we're just like, yeah, so this was the Lord Ruler's Contra, like, oh my god, that's not good.
Yeah, I will say, like, when you think about it, the most effective thing that Kelsier ever did was die, and he didn't even follow through on it. So I don't know that that's really someone I need on my team.
You know, I think I just put you
didn't
on
even
Kelsier
stick.
episodes just because I'm always just so amused with the things that you say for the hot takes. I love it. Thanks for the engagement. It's good.
You're welcome. We're getting many comments.
Oh yeah.
So many
That's
comments.
true, yeah.
That's true. That's true. And you got to go listen to that episode because with the vague title, people aren't viewing it as much. So
Aw.
it's still pretty good, but I mean it's 4 out of 10, but it's not the other ones. We're only at 3.8 and not over 4,000 views. Boo. Yeah, but well, we got a lot of stuff to do in 2023. A lot of books. We'll see what we're up to there. I can't imagine. I don't know where that sentence was going actually, but Span Reads will be
More
back in
Span
some
Reads.
form. Diceborn will be back in some form.
Diceborn Season 2 will be back,
Yeah.
and then various, at least one other Diceborn thing.
Yeah, eventually.
Ooh.
And so
Some
we'll
fun things coming down the pipes.
yeah, fun things. Yeah, that's what
I don't want to know that it's 2 to 3 weeks till Secret Project 1.
That sounds
too
fake.
soon.
That sounds fake.
Oh,
fake.
Oh no. Whew. Yeah, that's very, very close.
Yes.
We should
I-
go hammer out that spoiler
Okay.
policy.
Oh yeah, we gotta figure out what we're doing for spoilers. Oh
Yeah.
god.
Nick, I haven't even thought about the swag boxes. They're just gonna come in the mail, and I'm just gonna see what I get.
Yeah.
I've got too much content to think about to worry about what's in the boxes.
Actually, that's a good point. Has anybody seen emails about like confirming your address for stuff? Because I definitely
Not
moved
yet.
Isn't that
since
just
so
Your backer kit,
isn't that just backer kit?
isn't it?
maybe
They usually send out like an email notification, like
okay.
relatively soon before they start sending things out, just to like final check if your address has changed,
That's
update
what I
it.
figure. I actually have a friend who is also planning on sending kits to me, and they are going to need my new address as well. So I need to make sure that they make that happen also. So yeah. Anyway.
Way of Kings Prime episode. Honestly, probably at some point, but it's like a super low priority.
2032.
We're
Sure.
never doing a Way of Kings Prime episode.
Like we need to hit a real drought.
Yeah. Which will not be a problem.
Are you gonna be able to call the secret projects by their name? Yes. So as soon as Secret Project 1 is out,
Yeah.
you can use its name to refer to it because it's out.
I mean, you can already now.
Yeah, we're just
Because we switched the thing, but we're not going
Yep.
to until we put it out. But
we're trying to be good.
Mhm.
Oh man. Yeah. I feel like part of the problem with the Way of Kings Prime episode is that there isn't probably a very large subset of the fandom that has read Way of Kings Prime
Nope.
who would click into such a video is
Nope.
the other thing.
no, sure
So,
wouldn't.
Yeah, but I mean,
that's
like,
a tough one.
that's also
That's
never
never stopped
been a
us.
huge driving factor
Yeah.
for us.
Yeah.
I am
It's like-
far more excited to like find the time to do episodes on the annotations. I think they are genuinely fun, and I
we
think
gotta do a Dragon's
fewer
Tale episode, Evgeny.
we do. Yeah, I agree. But like fewer and fewer people I think are finding and reading the annotations. There's like
Mhm.
fun stuff in there.
We got
Yeah.
George R.R. Martin in the chat. I'm sure totally legit.
Oh,
Ian
George.
is
Wow,
king.
Congrats on
Like,
winning the Game of Thrones.
With
You
all
won
due
Westeros.
respect, Mr. Martin, I don't want to be the king in any of
Wait,
your
no,
to
I-
be
like,
fair,
that's, like
Seems like it doesn't usually go well.
That's
for
not the
those.
show I watched.
for whoever has that YouTube account, I hope you just go into streams and just say you're king and you're king, and you just
I mean,
go to different places. Amazing.
thank you for selecting me. And
Yeah.
if I can have my team of shard
Team
bodyguards,
protectors.
then I would be king of Westeros. Anything short of that, nah.
Yeah,
Oh man.
I think that would be really OP for that setting.
Yes, that's the point.
It's true. It's true. Yeah. Oh boy. We're I'm tired, everyone.
Did we have any
here.
good chat questions that we missed?
Oh, I absolutely wasn't paying
don't know.
attention.
I have.
If you
some.
had a good chat question,
Yeah,
just
put it in chat
submit
again. Yeah.
Let us know.
Yeah.
If it's not
we can hang out a little
good,
longer.
you get banned.
Okay.
Okay.
You become hemalurgic fodder.
Yes, Swan, there is a wob that Condra can eat Lerasium. I
Someone brought
recently
that to our
discovered this.
attention. Yep.
Yeah.
After the episode,
Yeah.
because
Oh,
Matt, when is Fel going to be made admin? Nice.
Right
Well,
after
What
it's
is an
always
admin?
in our
Right
hearts.
after me.
I always wonder when listening to your podcast, how much like insider information do you have? Do you guys have things you aren't allowed to talk about regarding the series? Yeah. Yes.
Yes, next question.
Yes.
Mhm.
Lots.
I will say we also do try to record episodes in ways to minimize the amount of insider information we have. So yeah, we try that's like we try to record things in ways that are like not going to we're
As
not
best
at
we
risk of spoiling anything because it's
Mhm.
easier to talk openly.
Yeah.
So,
Juan,
anyway.
come to Discord. There's several. There's 2 wobs about Condra and Lerasium. It's fine. They can.
Mhm.
Is State of the
Lotus, I'm
Sands-
already an admin.
Yeah, it's
That's
true.
true. Ian
That's
is an
true.
admin.
Is
That's
Stata
why
the
you- that's why you
Sanderson
want to.
tomorrow? Yeah, as far as we know.
So,
On
It-
Brandon's
usually
birthday.
is.
mhm.
Mhm.
And everyone will unuclify.
Thank God.
Hopefully.
Hopefully.
Historically, that
It
hasn't
always-
happened.
It always takes a couple.
takes, like, 2
like a week or
months.
two.
A week. A
Sift
week.
all of the Uklas out.
And then someone comes back 8 months later and is like, hey, I'm apparently still an Ukla.
Yeah.
Ian for regular user. People want you demoted. Ian.
I'm good with Lotus. She wants me to be the exclusive and only admin. I'm
Oh,
like,
okay.
thank you. No, that's too much work.
Yeah, it
I will
absolutely
say-
is.
I definitely made a concerted attempt to get Punny's staff status revoked due to some
Bug race.
bug-related theories earlier, and
Yeah.
it wasn't quite as successful as I'd hoped it
Well,
was.
this
going
one's a
to be,
great one
so.
for Alex. What is your favorite Cosmere book and why is it Elantris?
I've read Elantris twice. Once, I think the first time I read Elantris, which, first of all, when I got into the Cosmere was Elantris, the OG Mistborn trilogy, and Warbreaker. That was it.
Yeah.
That was
Yeah.
all of the Cosmere that we
Yeah.
had. And I think I read it right after the Mistborn trilogy and was like, just not that enthused with it because I thought it was weaker than Mistborn.
It is.
I liked
It is.
Yeah, I liked Warbreaker a lot better. And then I, several years and Cosmere books later, I was like, you know what? Maybe I didn't give Elantris a fair shake. I should go reread it and try it again. And you know what? I didn't really like it the second time. So now I don't really remember a lot of it and probably will not read it a third time because it's just. it
You
just
mean
didn't
you're not
vibe
going to
with
be on the
me.
list for Elantris span reads?
That's exactly the joke I was gonna make.
And it could actually be good content of like how much of Elantris have I forgotten.
We're just
You
putting
read it
you on all
twice.
the episodes of things you hate, and people are
Oh.
like, oh my god,
There you go.
Alex again. Oh
There
no.
you go.
That's not a good
I
sign.
just I wonder if it has been like years and years now. It's probably
Mhm.
been like 8 years since I last read Elantris. Maybe I would feel it, but I don't know. I wouldn't want to be a downer on span reads if I ended up not liking it the third time.
Yeah.
Ooh.
I like Elantris, but it's definitely the weakest of them. Like it just
Yeah.
is.
Yeah.
Uh,
It's an early book, and you can feel that.
Yeah.
Also, I hate Aeonic pronunciation, and
That's why I don't bother.
Not-
That's why I don't bother.
not for
Easy.
I do my own Aeonic pronunciation, and I refuse to do it Brandon's way because
Yeah.
his way doesn't make sense.
Nice. Dragon in Winterfell asks, question, why are the titles of the secret projects considered spoilers? I've never seen any book titles treated this way before. Yes, it's weird. I agree.
It's weird.
Because Brandon.
Because Brandon.
Brandon wanted people to be able to go in blind, but now there's Amazon links to the things, and you can just see the titles. So it's...
I think both Amazon and Tor have like gone back and replaced the titles and the covers with like just like secret project stuff.
Really?
Oh, really? Did they?
Really?
I think that's in like social media posts, but
Okay.
not like the actual Amazon listing.
Let's
Yeah.
find out.
Oh,
Research
no,
break
that's,
live.
yeah, that's not true on Amazon's listing. That's for sure. The title is there. It says Book 104, Secret Projects, which is like, okay.
They
Uh,
have like secret projects like they're a series.
Yeah, it's like it's a series. It's like, oh, that's probably shouldn't
not
label it like that, but
really
okay.
correct.
That's
Considering one of them's not even Cosmere.
You read the Secret Project 1 and then you read Secret Project 2, the non-Cosmere one. It's like, this is a terrible sequel.
What were they thinking?
And then they went to Earth.
Yeah.
Awkward.
So, like, honestly, I don't think it's a problem if you know the titles. I don't think they're spoilers at all. Just saying. That I don't think it's a problem at all. I think it's very weird the way this is done. And I don't know. Also, yes, Amazon.
This was something Brandon wanted that
Yeah.
we as a website were attempting to be deferent to his wishes.
Yeah.
So
And I don't want people complaining in January. It's like, oh, you put the title of the secret project in the YouTube video. Like, yeah, we did. Yeah, we did. That's what we're doing.
It's a published novel at this
It's a
point.
published novel.
Yeah.
There's gonna be
People
comments.
own-
I know. I just know already. Someone's like, it's a spoiler. I haven't received my box yet. I'm like, I don't know what to do for you, man. Like, you're on the internet. Like, we can do our best, but come on.
People already say our spoiler policy is so strict, and then Brandon
It needs to be more
Which
strict. It needs to be more strict.
Brandon's like, don't talk about the titles. It's like,
Yeah,
okay,
yeah.
Brandon, we'll try to enforce
All
that.
books are now referred to by their publication date and nothing else.
Yes, Amazon. I know Secret Project 1 arrives after Christmas. Yes, I'm aware. But thanks.
Can't get that one before Christmas.
No. But no, you can't. But you can get it. Well, if you're a backer, you get January 1st, I think. And then other people can buy the ebook shortly thereafter. And if you want the physical and you didn't back it, April 4th for Secret Project 1.
To remove titles, only ISBN. Yeah.
Yeah, ISBN.
The one true way.
Back in 9174. That's what we have to do on the podcast. Actually, we just changed the podcast. We edited it in post, easy. Of just like we just put a cipher on the entire thing and just like modulate our voice, and you have to decode it.
Yeah.
To get
Do you
access
like-
I
to
have
the podcast.
seen.
So that way you don't
rotate
accidentally click
13,
it for spoilers.
Like
you know?
rotate 13 for like spoiler tweets. That's gonna be great for our click-through rate, I think. If no one can read any of our titles,
I
people
think
are gonna
so.
Yeah,
love that.
that's exactly what I was gonna say. Like I've seen people do like ciphers for their spoiler tweets.
Yep.
And they're like, here's a sequence of numbers. If you want to know what I'm saying about the thing, go punch it in this website. And I'm like, I appreciate that, but also I am not going to put in the effort.
Yeah. Like, when you're on the internet, like, it's like when House of the Dragon was coming out. Basically, the day it came out, it's just like, yeah, news sites were just putting spoilers in the title of everything, and it's like, yeah,
I mean-
like all the time. Like, I don't think that's great, but like,
This
every
is
site does
much
it.
smaller in scope, but Dimension 20's new season, Never
Uh-huh.
After,
Yes.
which I've been watching. After episode 3,
Uh-huh.
I was scrolling and there were news articles. I'm like, okay, I need to watch this like tonight, or else I'm gonna be spoiled.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
I will say this. I also got that Dimension 20 spoiler, and it made me interested in
It made me interested too. Yeah.
the show. So I might do that. I have to finish Iceborne first, though. I just finished episode 9, so I'm getting
Nice.
close.
Lots of actual.
I'm
play
very
lessons.
excited to hear what you think of. ending.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's hard, but
Mhm.
I don't know. Spoilers are challenging, but yeah, I am excited to watch Never After. Actually, after knowing what happened in episode 3, it's like, oh
Mhm.
boy, ooh, okay.
Yep.
Riley, I'm glad you thought Diceborn was so good. Diceborn, for the people who stuck through it, people seem to really be enjoying it, so I'm very glad.
Mhm.
So
Mm.
yeah. Other questions. Do you think Hoyd takes all the shards to become Aiden Alcium in the end? I don't think so. I don't think that's
I
what's
don't
gonna
think
happen.
we're ever gonna need an Alcium back.
Probably. I can see a world where Hoyd dies to restore Aiden Alcium.
Sure. Okay. Sure. Yeah, that's fair. I buy that.
Only have one cat, and she was in the stream earlier. She's running around. She might hop in the background.
Yeah. Should I get the other cat? Let me see if I can find her.
You can.
Let me see.
Dales, come here. Come here. Ta-da! Here she is.
And that's it.
She's gone.
And she's
That was
gone.
it. That was Dalish.
I
guess
would be on team reform the shards
Yeah.
because I like those kinds of stories rather than like magic. Like I don't know.
I will say currently I have a like thing set up to notify me when people talk about Dalish in 17th Shard, just in case anybody mentions my cat. And I'm like, wow, if we actually do get a new Dragon Age game, I'm gonna have to get rid of that one because that's gonna be a more usual. Although, you know what? I actually would be happy to be notified whenever anyone's talking about Dalish elves, probably too. Justice for the Dalish. There we go.
Whoa.
Yeah, Matt, my point was more, it's like, I like
Hey,
restoration of the past over, I don't want to say democratization of magic because that makes me sound terrible, but
makes you sound like
Scruffy.
Kelsier. So
She
I
also
was gonna
looks
say, yep,
adorable.
Team
It's
Kelsey
like-
gains strength.
Floofy, she's so floofy.
there
Hello,
she be.
she's devoted.
Where you going, baby? There we go. Cat stream.
yeah, it's like, I like the conflict implicit in like forward progress while also like maintaining like the past is something I find very interesting, and like so I don't want to get rid of the shards. I want them to be around. They're very interesting.
The shards are very
having
interesting.
16 gods in your setting rather than like the 16 corpses of gods.
Hmm.
What book is the story of Aiden Alcium in? The Cosmere and eventually Dragonsteel, I guess, which isn't out, so
I mean,
it's in the background.
I would say there isn't even like a book that is
No.
about Aiden Alcium, right?
No, not
It's
at all.
just Dragonsteel is gonna touch on the Shattering.
I am very amused, Polan, that Memory Called Empire was actually the only book I was shilling in the chat earlier. So yes, I agree. It's very good.
I want to get to it.
It's on my list.
I've got Priory to read as well.
Oh, I love Priory too.
I know.
I do read some other books. See, yeah, A Memory Called Empire is, I think, one of the best examples of like sci-fi that feels like fantasy. It is like technically spaceships and high tech, but it feels like super rich, high court, high fantasy, and
Nice.
I really enjoyed it.
Matt?
Have you finished Empire of Gold, or have you started Empire of Gold?
I have started Empire Called Gold, but I am very early days. I also have Rivers of Silver, which is the like short story collection.
Empire of Gold is right there.
I also got the Locked Tomb trilogy. I bought all of those. So I'm tempted
Surplus.
to reread. See, my friends are like, just go into Nona. You're not going to understand it anyway. And I'm like, but I kind of want to reread Gideon and Harrow because I don't really remember them that good. And these are
I will say you are 100% good to just go into Nona.
I know.
Because like I thought the same thing, and it's like you're good just to read.
A
Like,
reread wouldn't help you because
yeah, I am planning on doing rereading the 3 before Electo, but that's still in the future.
We'll see. So maybe I will just jump into Nona after Empire of Gold, but I'll have to read Secret Project 1 when it comes out too, because
You have
no.
January 7th. That's when we're recording it, Alex. I think the cast's full though, honestly. So
Yeah, I don't think I'm scheduled to be on Secret
no.
Project
That's-
1
that's,
episodes.
lots of people want to be on that one.
Lots of people want to be on a lot of them. So
Lots of
Oh,
people
I
want
do
to
need
be
to.
on
I do need to revisit like my level of interest because if I am recording these with thinking out loud, then
You're
maybe I don't
abandoning
need to,
us
like-
to do all of those with thinking.
I
Out
am
Loud?
not abandoning you. I am saying that I am on 1 million episodes, and there are 1 million people who also want to be on 1 million episodes. So I am maybe willing to make a sacrifice for some people, but that is
Okay.
still undecided.
Okay.
Yep.
Yeah. Reading order lists. I mean, I think people take reading order lists too seriously in the Cosmere. Like, it's probably going to be fine.
Just do a publication order.
Yeah, I mean,
No. Because that starts with people with Elantris. You don't want to start with Elantris.
It
That
only
is
gets
not-
better from there.
No, this is like telling people to start with Act 1 of The Deer Hunter. Like, you don't send them the early stuff first. You send them the good stuff first, and then you say, if you enjoyed this, maybe go back and read the earlier stuff that's not as good to get the whole picture.
Okay, publication order, except you read Elantris later, and you start with Final Empire.
Final Empire is a fine start.
Final
yeah.
Empire is my favorite starting point for the Cosmere, because it was my starting point for the Cosmere, and it worked.
Sure, fine. Bump Elantris to after Warbreaker.
Yeah,
Perfect.
yeah, it's fine. Warbreaker is also a good start, I think. Final Empire, Warbreaker, or Way of Kings. If you got a big fantasy fan, you can give them Way of Kings, I think.
Yes. If you have someone looking for like chunky epic fantasy, I would say go Way of Kings, but
Easy.
otherwise I don't recommend Stormlight to start.
Mm-hmm.
But in terms of like making a whole reading order, that's way too much effort. You just need a gateway drug and they'll figure it out themselves.
You'll be fine. It doesn't really matter that much. It like, don't read Words of Radiance before Way of Kings, but like, don't do that. But
also, I don't care where people do Warbreaker in
No.
compared to Stormlight. I do not think it matters at all.
I mean,
which one you
Jess
do
literally
first.
read like the first 3 and was fine, and then went back to Warbreaker. It's like, oh, okay, cool. I was like, that was her response. It's like that's
I don't
fine.
care if people read Secret History in between the two. I think either one works.
It's
They're fine.
Yeah.
This works. They work either way.
Ooh, read the Stormlight chapters chronologically is the best order. Yeah, good
Yeah.
luck with that.
Ooh.
To be fair, that would be an interesting experience for sure.
You're gonna
right?
have to start in like book 7 or 8 with like
Herald
the Herald
flashbacks, yeah.
flashbacks.
Go back to Yolen. Read about Hoyd.
The prelude after you've read all the Herald flashbacks.
Yeah. Nice.
Oof.
That seems good.
Also, where do you put Dalinar's visions of things that happened in the past? Are those happening contemporarily, or do
That's a
those
good
happen
question.
where the visions happen?
Ask
You have to
us,
figure out.
Ildoru. Where do we put the Dalinar visions if they happen in the past?
Yeah,
But they're not. It's not technically what actually happened in the past. It's a vision of like what Honor witnessed that you can interact with and stuff. Yeah.
Mhm.
Good question.
What 3 characters would I bring to Westeros?
Mm.
Blackthorn Dalinar, because he would just fit right in.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's right there.
Yasna, she's smart.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
I wouldn't go to Westeros.
Yeah.
Yeah, same.
I mean, yeah.
Oof.
H. Super Lee. Start with Rhythm of War so you know Kaladin will be fine, then go back and read the rest.
Does Rhythm of War tell you that Kaladin is going to be fine? Is that
Eventually.
the
He'll be warm
takeaway?
again eventually.
Okay, that's true.
He will. It's a bit of a slog getting through that. Lol,
Yeah.
the oops, all Gavilar assassination.
Read all the prologues one after another.
Nice. Classic.
Actually, I think you need to like anytime there's like a POV switch in a Gavilar prologue, you have to cut that so that like you're reading all of them together.
Yeah.
chopped
And you
as
have to
one-
put that Venli
as the night
flashback in.
progresses.
You know, you have to put that in too. Nice.
Yeah. Mhm.
Nice. That would be really cool if it wasn't so clearly copyright infringement to like actually like publish a book that was in chronological order. And it's like an entire, like, you remix the entire first 5 Stormlight books in chronological order once Stormlight 5's out. And like you probably have a good like entire part of like part 1 of Way of Kings, but it's all the Gavilar assassination. That's the entire part of it.
I feel like as a fan of Cloud Atlas, more sort of works should embrace telling their stories wildly out of chronological order, because actually it can be really fun.
Sure,
Because
it can
there's
be
a new
really
Netflix
disastrous.
series that's doing that.
Ooh,
It's like
interesting.
Kaleidoscope, and it's like each
check that out.
episode is like it's the story of a heist, and it's like different like time point. It's like one is like the night of the heist, one's like 3 weeks before the heist, one's is like 20 years before the heist, and it's like it's supposed to be able to be watched in any order.
Although I will say, you know what? I didn't really like the way The Witcher did it, because The Witcher did also do its.
Well, that's because they did it confusingly.
Yeah, they didn't tell people that's what they were doing.
Or you could do, as someone who's been very into Miraculous Ladybug lately, the episodes are all written to be watched in chronological order, and then the studios just release them in whatever order they want.
Ooh,
So
Firefly style. Ooh,
it's-
boy.
it's not. It used to not be a problem because Miraculous Ladybug was more like Monster of the Week, but in later seasons, it has become more of like a narrative through line. People are like, ooh, this is an episode from the end of the season that's being released 5th out of 23. Yikes. Wonder what we've missed between all of this.
That sounds horrible.
It's not good. Yeah, the best way to watch Miraculous Ladybug is in production code order, which is such a bonkers thing you have to see, but thankfully we know what order they were meant to be in.
Nice.
It's a good show though. Watch
Nice.
Miraculous Ladybug.
I've
Talk
never
to you
heard
about
of this.
Love Square.
Never heard of this. Never heard of it in my life.
You never heard of Miraculous Ladybug?
Like
No.
we've talked about it on podcasts
No,
before.
I've never heard
So you
about
have
this
heard
in
of
my
this.
life.
It is a
Never.
kids show, but it's an excellent kids show. So
Yeah. I've never heard of it. I don't remember this at all.
Not surprising.
No.
do we play video games? Is a question
I-
in the chat.
Guild
I'm
Wars.
in the it is hard to find time camp.
I probably shouldn't /age in Guild Wars 2. That doesn't seem like a good idea. That doesn't seem like a good idea.
No, it never is.
No. I know it's over 8,000
Um,
hours though.
I bought Triangle Strategy in like
Yes.
July, and I still have not
Yeah, I
played
haven't-
it beyond the
either.
demo.
I have my Switch right here to play more Scarlet and Violet right here.
Mhm.
And I haven't turned it on for a week, but now I'm done with the semester. So now maybe play some video
Yeah.
games. Video
I mean,
games are
I-
nice.
Yeah.
I'm a fan.
Gaming is probably my most active channel in 17th Shard.
It is.
Yeah. And within the threads, like I play both Destiny and Final Fantasy 14. Not as actively as I would like to on either Triangle Strategy. I'm not quite finished yet, but I'm very close to the end. And I've been really excited to see more people get into it because I think Triangle Strategy is excellent. But I played quite a few games.
Ooh,
I
love
played
the
a
Hades
Warcraft.
Pad.
World of Warcraft.
Deeply enjoyed it.
Dragonflight. Come ride a dragon.
I see. I play Guild Wars 2, and you just
gonna
stole the
say.
dragons from Guild Wars 2.
Yeah,
there. So
yeah.
I already
Yeah.
played that. I'm already set. I'm already.
The alternative pitch is come play the gayest World of Warcraft has ever been.
Ooh,
Oh, there
okay.
you go.
See, I just hate the WoW art style. I can't do it.
Yeah, if that doesn't work for you, then like
Not my
Like
fave.
honestly, it didn't work for me when the original Guild Wars came out. I'm like, I think the original Guild Wars looks better. It's like Guild Wars still looks way better to
Mhm.
me. So
Yeah.
I think we would do a Jackbox stream at one point. I think we've like had ideas to like do streams that involve games sometime.
Mhm.
At one point, a Civ game was discussed, and I would be down for that.
Civ would be fun.
I'm sure we'll look, streams are one of those things that's like, hey, do we want to do a stream and like these honestly the last few months we have had things like every weekend. Like literally every single weekend with like Diceborn spam reads and Shardcast and like doing Shardcasts for Lost Metal stuff and things. So streams are like these are like bonus chatty things where we're just like, hey, what's up? How's it going?
Mhm.
How's it
This
going,
is
guys?
this is part of why it's hard to have like a D&D game amongst the Shardcasters, because like it's really hard to find weekends where none of us are
It's like,
on a
well, 3
recording
months
or
from
things
now
like
we'll
that.
get right to it.
We're very lucky if we meet once a month.
Yeah.
and-
True.
Yeah.
but it's such a fun game. Ian's a great DM.
Best Pokemon.
I
game.
inflicted psychic horrors on them
Nice.
Yes,
this
you
previous session, and it was great.
It
Nice.
was
I'd only been
fun.
planning that for like 10 months.
Very
Well, not my
nice.
character. She wasn't important enough to get a vision to face her.
No,
fears.
that was the torture.
What are you talking about? She didn't even get one.
Best Pokemon game. Thoughts?
Never played 'em.
Diamond.
You've
Like
never played them?
Diamond, Platinum, Pearl.
Wow.
The only Pokemon game I've ever played was Leaf Green.
It's pretty good though.
That's like the OG though. It's like a remake of like the first one.
But
isn't
it
So,
made the first
there you go.
ones like good because the first
original-
one's actually kind of
original
jank.
100%.
If like the progression is pretty jank in that one.
I think at one point I was trying to play one of the later Pokemon games and I was like, ooh, this will be fun. I'll get it in French. And because I like practicing French. And then I didn't realize all of the Pokemon names are wildly different in different languages. And therefore, I don't
Yeah.
know what any of the English names are for any of that generation.
Heart Gold, Soul Silver, best ones. Gold
I-
and Silver were the best.
I didn't
remixed.
think Gen 4 was going to be this contentious.
Honestly, as a kid, when I played all four of them, I'm like, Gen 4 is kind of the worst one of the first one. Like, and it wasn't close for me. It was like, the story is just like, what is going on here? Okay.
I guess I just like in my mind at this point in my life, like that's the one I got closest to a complete Pokedex. So it's like,
Gotcha.
I was too broke to own a console beyond the Nintendo, the NES, and that lasted until past the age at which I felt like having a console.
Yeah. Black
I
and
will
White
say-
is really good and legit has a good story, which you don't really get in a Pokemon game.
Yeah.
True.
see, I had White, and then like I got to the Elite Four, and then I lost a cartridge,
Oh no. No.
and so like
oh.
I was always like annoyed, so I never like
Yeah.
got to finish
yeah,
it or
yeah,
like play
I
White
feel that.
2. So it's like I was
Yeah.
just angry. I'm like,
That's
I will
so
say-
upsetting to me knowing that just if you know Black and White, you know why I'm annoyed. That's like
yeah.
that's just like really sad. So I'm sorry about that.
so it's like to this day, like I forget Black and White exist.
Oh, I love turn-based games. They're so good.
I am such a fan of turn-based
Yes.
tactics games. Like
Final Fantasy
This is
Tactics
part of
Advance,
why
Alex. Boom.
Final Fantasy Tactics Advance. You would love Triangle Strategy.
I
I'm telling
know.
you. You
Look,
gotta
I
do
need to
Triangle
download it. I have so many Switch games that I haven't played, Alex.
Just
So
Triangle Strategy is the only game I own on Switch. I don't own any other game.
I have so many. When you guys come down for the wedding, you'll see my like stacks of Switch. No, not stacks, but like there's a big lineup, and that isn't even all the digital ones. And I'm like, oh no.
I've heard Tactics Ogre
Yeah.
is also very good. People rave about that one, so I would probably check that one out.
Yeah.
Now.
TC, I don't think I've played a turn-based game outside of like Hearthstone, like card games, right? Ever since Neverwinter Nights, and so I am 50% excited for Baldur's Gate 3 and 50% I cannot allow myself to touch that game because I'm worried about the person that I will become.
You're not worried about Kelsey.
I am
being like
excited for
Kelsey.
Baldur's Gate 3.
Yeah.
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 I'm more willing to believe that Dragon Age Dreadwolf exists. That has been something that I have not been willing to commit to yet, but I'm slowly becoming convinced that it might be a real game. And I'm really
concerning,
trying
isn't it?
not to get hype about it because
It's probably for the
in
best.
case the fact that my cat is named Dalish did not clue anybody into the fact that I'm a very big Dragon Age fan, I'm very worried.
I never played Dragon Age 2 or Inquisition, Alex.
Inquisition, I think, is my favorite.
Origins
I
is really
enjoy
good.
things from Origins and DA2, but I think Inquisition is just like the stronger game from like a gameplay perspective.
Yeah, that's fair.
And
That's fair.
People might disagree with me on a storytelling perspective, but there's a lot of good to.
I want to
to
know about the
enjoy
old
in
gods,
Inquisition.
and it doesn't seem like those other games talk about the dark spot and the old gods, and I don't like that.
Oh, you would be very surprised. I would
Okay.
say the old gods and the Darkspawn are central points of every Dragon Age
Okay.
game.
Okay. Okay.
So
I've played part of Origins. I really enjoyed it. But like the last time I got into it was when I moved into this apartment and didn't have internet. So and like no cable. So I was like, that's what I'm gonna do.
My Stormlight crossover takes place in Origins. Actually, it takes place before. There's 2 parts of it. The first part takes place like before Origins would start, and then the second part, which is horrible because I'm a bad person and I like making Kaladin suffer, takes place during Origins. So technically, it's a Tian lives AU though, because Tian is the main character of Dragon Age Origins in that one. He's the warden.
See, the problem with Inquisition is it seemed kind of a lot like a single player MMO, and I'm like, I already have that, so I'm good.
I mean, not like MMO, because
no, but like a lot of like very open world. Ooh, you can gather all the things and spend so much time in all these zones, and I'm like, I think I need a little more structured experience here, or else I'm gonna just spend hundreds of hours, and I'm just not gonna do that. Like, I'm just not.
Well, I think part of the problem is that the like quote unquote longest and most open zone in Inquisition is the first one, the hinterland.
Yes.
Like most of the other zones are not quite as expansive and overwhelming as the hinterlands. I don't know why they throw you into the biggest one that's easiest to lose all of your time in first, but it's fun. Yeah, we'll see. We'll see.
I'll put it on my list of 30 games that I'll never play.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
Hades has been discussed in the chat, and Hades also a very good game.
Yeah.
Hades may be one of like, in terms of if I had to pick a game that I think is just like flawless on all levels, I think it's hard to beat Hades as like an all around strong game.
You really can't go wrong with it.
It's there's a lot to like, even if it's not your normal type of game. I would say at least give it a shot, because just everything in it is so perfectly well executed. Hollow Knight, I have played some Hollow Knight. I never finished Hollow Knight, but I have seen stuff about the ending. Greylock is a big Hollow Knight fan. If you want to hit Grey up about Hollow Knight.
I tried Hollow Knight. It's not a game for me. It's like it's too close to like. I love watching Let's Plays of like Dark Souls and Bloodborne and Elden Ring. Like fascinating.
Yeah.
I cannot play them. Like I know myself, I would not have fun. Hollow Knight, too close to Dark Souls. For me.
Hollow Knight has a very interesting storytelling sort of mechanism. I think it's one of the best examples of like really emergent storytelling, where you're sort of putting together the pieces of what happened in this place after a lot of it has already gone down. And so there's a very like quiet sort of mystery of not a ton is happening on screen, but you're slowly figuring out what this place is and what has happened and who the people were who were here.
I think it's a little too subtle for my style. I think there's a little like too much mystery and not enough evidence and something like that. But generally, I think it's a cool like narrative device to dole out information like that.
Also, like, not to put on clown makeup, but I am kind of hoping that Silksong is a little bit more active plot. If when Silksong ever
I'm sure Silksong will come out any day now.
Soon, guys.
We're gonna get our White Sand Omnibus and Silksong in the mailbox on the same day.
What even is that?
Yeah. Legend of Zelda, really good. Love Legend of Zelda. Great series.
Yep. What is it? Silksong is the Hollow Knight sequel.
Oh, yeah. Not good. Announced 2019. Oh, that's not great.
There were issues.
Yeah.
People keep waiting for it to show up at like game announcement things, and it's like the recurring joke of like, put on your clown makeup if you think we're gonna get a Silksong update.
Right.
Look, they gave us an update like a few months ago, and I thought it looked good.
We'll see.
Best Legend of Zelda, Breath of the Wild. Like,
I would like to play Breath of the Wild someday. Now that I have a Switch, I hear Breath of the Wild is.
Yeah, it is like there are aspects of previous games in the series that I wish Breath of the Wild included. Like I would have preferred dungeons to be a bit more involved as they are in previous games, but as a complete whole, Breath of the Wild just stepped things up in a way that is just so good.
Yeah.
Cool. Well, I think now is a good time for us to sort of call it. I don't know. What do you guys think?
Yeah.
Sound
We've
good?
now talked about games a lot.
For like the last
For a
half
while,
hour, yeah.
but-
2.5 hours is good.
Yeah. So you can find us at 17 Shard, our forums and Discord. Lots of fun, lots of Lost Metal content, although not much more Lost Metal content for a while. But the plan is to have a Status Anderson stream after Status Anderson. So stay tuned to that. But I'll probably wait till we get Status Anderson to schedule that. So not a lot of notice on that, but hey, this is what it is. But we'll get that out
happens
there.
when it happens.
And then we'll not have a podcast this weekend, because if we're doing something like Monday, Tuesday or something,
Because that's
for Status Anderson.
Christmas.
Well, I mean, it is Christmas, but it's also the weekend. So no, Travis, we're not going 4 more hours. No.
Look,
I we have to do it, right?
I recorded an episode with Thinking Out Loud yesterday, and it was like 2 hours, 2.5 hours, and then I was on the call for another 5. I don't want to do another 7-hour thing.
Is there a WoB episode incoming? Okay, so there is the thing from the con that will go out sometime. There is the December spoiler stream that will come out sometime. There will be Secret Project 1 stuff very soon. So I don't know when these WoB things are coming out. I'll just put it out there that I'm not sure. And then I believe the plan is still that Brandon is going to do a Secret Project 1 spoiler stream like the week or 2 after that. And so then we're going to have that. So honestly, that one is probably coming out first. Maybe the one from the con's coming out in a bit. I don't know. We'll see. So yeah, it's going to be a mess. I don't know. Sometime. I'm trying not to let the amount of things to do make me feel like we need to do weekly for months and months, because that is not sustainable, and that's fine. We'll get it when we get it. But yes, we definitely have WoP episodes to do for sure.
Soon TM. Yes, asterisk.
And the spoiler stream sounds fun.
Before the heat death of the universe.
No. We'll get there. I mean, ultimately, it'll just mean we're pushing Rhythm of War and Lost Metal topics out of 2023. But hey.
We don't have to cover everything that would be a good Shardcast episode as a Shardcast episode. And that's, I think, something we are coming to terms with.
Yes.
So.
Yes. And then 2024, if we're in a drought and we're like, yeah, we can't think of topics, it's like, who's that Cosmere character? Ship it or rip it. It's like, let's go before Stormlight comes out. So
I think the idea that Brandon is ever going to give us a content drought ever again is optimistic.
No, like I think after Stormlight 5 and before Era 3, like maybe.
No.
Maybe. I don't know.
No.
I haven't thought about how adaptations are going to fit in that. I'm not stressing about that until I get a concrete announcement of anything.
Ian's reaction was perfect.
I forget about things sometimes.
I don't want to
That's
worry
what
about
I'm
that.
thinking is like, even if we don't have as many books coming out, like, I think there's going to be other
Adaptations are not real and they cannot hurt you.
It can't hurt us, guys.
Not yet.
Yeah, what could go wrong? Except literally everything.
As all of our free time implodes.
Nope. Look, I'm okay just being like, you know what? It's fine. We don't need to worry about it. I'm not gonna worry about it.
Yep.
Our sanity is more important than anything. And
True.
I gotta write my own books. So Moonbreaker Shardcast, I can probably confirm that is never going to happen. I don't want to say never, never. I don't know if anyone has listened to any of the audio thing.
I have.
Oh, okay.
I've listened to
How are
every
they?
single one that's come out, and I enjoy them a lot.
Cool.
I'm
We'll
not
put
sure I
that
know
next
what
think-
Moonbreaker is.
They are
Am I, like,
very
out of the
well.
loop?
They are
It's
very well
the
produced.
game.
They like the minis, tactics,
The mini
turn-based
painting
strategy game.
game.
It's a
I
video
think you're
game.
out of the loop.
Okay, we'll catch you up.
Evgeny, will we do that episode after we do a Death and Faxes episode?
I mean, so we wouldn't do that episode at all because these are written by Dan and not Brandon.
Yeah.
But like so far only 3 have come out, and I think they are releasing one every like month or two. They are like 20 to 30 minutes each. They are very well produced. The stories are fun. Like I am genuinely looking forward to each new episode because they are just very enjoyable.
What's Moonfall? What? That's something else. That's not a Brandon
Yeah,
thing.
I don't know what that is.
That's not what?
Uh,
Do you mean Moonbreaker?
maybe.
No, 2 people were saying Moonfall. It's the same person.
Yeah. Mark Breen. We already did an episode on Children of the Nameless.
We did.
Oh yeah, we did. Yeah, we
When
invited
it came
someone.
out.
That's true.
Which-
we did. It's in 2018.
It's a good story.
Yeah, we did it in
that
2018.
it's not it's not possible to obtain it legally currently.
Yeah.
So
You can go look. It's pre-video, but it's back there. It's nice. I enjoyed it. I enjoyed reading it a lot.
You know, I will say, speaking of content and Brandon things that are not able to be obtained legally anymore, I would love to do a solo video on Infinity Blade someday
Ooh,
so that
yes.
people who are not able to get, because the games cannot be bought anymore and they're like a cohesive story with the stuff that Brandon wrote, I would love to do like a here's what you need to know about Infinity Blade in order to read the Brandon novellas because they're really good, and also some more thoughts on why Infinity Blade is cool.
Dozens of
Bring it-
people will watch it. Dozens.
Bring it back,
Like,
Epic Games.
that's
Fortnite's
what's-
not that cool.
That's
Okay,
what's
you
holding
can.
me back from actually reading the novellas. It's that I don't know
I can't play
anything.
the game. Also, Mark, don't worry. There's literally 200 shardcasts. I do not expect you to know our entire catalog. That's okay.
I do,
Oh, okay. Okay.
and I am disappointed in you.
Okay. Well, Evgeny's disappointed, but he's perpetually disappointed. So what's
that is true. Like this is not a judgment on your character or behavior. It's just I 100% of the time I live in a state of disappointment. So
Mhm.
Yeah. But yeah, and so there's a lot of stuff going on. Lot of WoB episodes. You got a bunch of books. How many episodes are we gonna do on each book? It's like, yeah, we'll find out.
We'll figure it out.
The good news is like we'll probably hit the big stuff, and if we have more stuff to do in 2024, 2025, it's okay. It's all good.
Mhm.
So all the shardcasts. Name 200. Ooh, I could probably get pretty close. I
Oh
do know
my
the names of them.
goodness.
I did realize that I forgot that in Oathbringer time that we had an episode called Moash, and then we just did that again in Rhythm of War. Usually I try and like do a little more variation. Literally forgot we did an Oathbringer Moash episode.
even
Excelsior, that's
Mo
5
Moash.
Yeah. It's like no recollection of this at all. So no. We will at least have a reactions episode for Secret Project 2, H Super Lee, for
Mhm.
sure.
Mhm.
Yep.
I don't like that in their stream. I don't have much more scheduled currently.
Q2 is our hey. There's not gonna be a whole lot to talk about Secret Project 2, so we're gonna slot in all the other
we
things.
can
that
yeah,
haven't been
exactly.
discussing.
Yes.
Q2 is gonna be a
exactly.
catch-up quarter.
And then watch Brandon be like, "Hey, I'm gonna do a Cosmere spoiler stream in June because that's what you need." It's like, oh my god,
I mean, that is the plan.
Yeah,
including the 4 Secret Project spoiler streams too. I don't know
He
about
hasn't
that.
talked about it.
Sanderson,
So-
Eric. Have
We-
you not learned this about Brandon Sanderson yet?
He hasn't said it's not the plan.
Yeah, I mean, he did the December one. I was a little surprised
Yeah.
because it's like, well, I mean, he's doing the Secret Project 1,
Yeah.
and that's just a little bit away, but
Because I think he's probably going to want to theme those streams
Yeah.
for the books.
sure.
Mhm.
So
Yeah.
having a general purpose stream.
Yeah, okay, so we're not doing very many topics. We'll be doing Secret Projects and WoB episodes, is my understanding for the 2023
Pretty
schedule.
much.
Yeah.
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 Um,
And all of our other shows that we've started.
yeah. Yeah, I'm not editing those at least. So, yeah.
We're gonna have fun. And
Yeah,
y'all are all
just-
stuck in
I'm
here
so
with
thrilled.
us.
I'm so thrilled. You can tell how thrilled I am. But no, it will be really fun for you guys to hear the Secret Projects. And I'm very excited for you to see Secret Project 1. And you won't have to wait very long.
Nope.
Cool. Secret Project 1 could be spicy enough to maintain Q1 and Q2 of next year. I mean,
We have other things we have to do.
It's
in
not-
Q2,
we
it's
have a lot of
probably-
stuff to do. And like, look, there's way more Lost Metal we can talk about, but I don't know if we're gonna talk about it for like a while. Oh, hey, there's Matt.
Oh, we're
Yeah.
actually having a Matt.
Right
Oh,
at the
are we?
very
Oh, okay.
end.
I was just
We're-
like, oh,
nope.
nope.
I think
Nope.
that was a misclick.
Well done, Matt. Good job. High five. Yay! Okay,
Bye, Matt.
At least he didn't wound himself.
that's true. He
on
did.
stream,
He
like-
did burn himself with tea on the Diceborn stream. It was a misclick. Well done.
Classic Matt.
Oh, hi Matt. Bye Matt. Okay, let's get out of here. Hope
Yeah.
you enjoyed this. For the patron Q&A and chatting about stuff. And
Mhm.
we will see you all for the State of Sanderson stream. Stay tuned for whenever that will be, but it'll probably be like the day after, so it won't be tomorrow because I think Brandon's doing a thing for State of the Sanderson as well. I kind of forgot.
Maybe we don't.
He did say something about like a silly stream for his
something
birthday.
like that. I don't
Mhm.
Mhm.
remember, so we're not gonna do it the same day as Brandon. So we'll see later. Hashtag Bugmraze and hashtag Bug Alex with Bugmraze.
No, that's not the
Bug
takeaway.
Raise for Alex.
Ooh, nice. Yes. Put that in the
Even
comments.
worse.
If you are viewing this 2 weeks from now, make sure you put that, in the
This is
comments.
my legacy. This is
I
what
wanna
we've
see
come
that.
to.
I'll heart
Oh,
every
no.
single one of those comments.
I don't even know what the theory is. I know it just
Raises the
bugs
sleepless,
Alex.
That's it.
Raises a
That's
sleepless. That's the
there's
theory.
There's nothing more to it than that. It's that he's a
Well,
bug.
that's-
He's a bug monster.
That's a statement, not a theory.
I mean, it doesn't have to be a
there's-
good theory to be a theory.
There's,
Okay.
there's evidence if you want to get into
Okay.
it. I
there?
unfortunately know a lot of it. Like
Okay.
I said, I'm remarkably scared that it could be a real possibility. So
Perfect.
cool.
Mhm.
Yep.
Perfect. All right. On that delightful buggy note, let's get out of here. Bye, guys. See you next time.
Bye.
Bug race.
For Alex.
Okay.